And we're live. Welcome back to the Comic Book Theater and Comic Fanatic Live. I was going to say Comic Book Theater Live for some reason. I don't know why. I've never said that line a day in my life. But welcome to Comic Fanatic Live. Tonight, two co-hosts with me, which is Cryptid.
Yo.
And Brevin Campbell.
Hey, you guys.
We got some news to talk about that, again, all the news comes from people who are mentioning the hot topics. So anybody who wants something to be talked about, feel free to go over to the hot topics on the Discord and drop a link there for a news article that you want us to talk about. And so far, I don't think I've withheld any news pieces that anybody has ever requested. So we've at least mentioned them. Let's get on to the first news piece, which I want to take out of order in the list because it's Marvel asks a New York councilman to not dress up as Captain America. This is a councilman. Now, it was funny because me and Crypto are part of a couple different Discords, and he posted it, and then like on one Discord, and I had just posted it on the Comic Fanatic Comic Book Theater Discord, and then when I went to that Discord, I was like, I just posted that on for Hot Topics. I think this is funny because I understand them not wanting to have it be a political, statement with any of their characters, but at the same time, you let Nick Spencer do a year-long run where he was basically using two books for political advancement of his own political statements, Captain America and Falcon Captain America, Steve Rogers Captain America, and Sam Wilson Captain America were both politically run books. Anybody who does not see that, I don't know what blinders you have on, but those books were heavily politically bent. And Nick Spencer did it because Nick Spencer was a former politician. And he wrote about politics in those books. So I just think it's funny that they don't want Captain America to be in politics, but yet they let it go on. And not just one Captain America book, but two Captain America books for over a year. I just thought that was so hilariously ironic that I wanted to talk about it because I just thought that was so funny.
Ironically, I've actually had kind of like when I was back when Nick Spencer was still writing Captain America, I actually had like in my own head of dressing up in a Sam Wilson costume and making speeches in front of crowds like that. So I just found it funny that this kind of story kind of even came out.
I can understand though their point, because as a character, you don't want them to be branded with any one affiliation or whatever, but you can't do it when you allow a writer to do that. I'm sorry.
I mean, hell, even currently Coates, he is doing a little bit of politics in even his Cap run. So
Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, I just thought it was so hilariously ironic that I just wanted to talk about it. I just thought it was the most hilariously ironic thing that Marvel has done this year. I only say this year because they keep doing things that are hilariously ironic.
I mean, to be fair, aren't they run by a different editor-in-chief now? So that also could be a factor that you can think about. I don't know. Yeah. Do the editor-in-chief even have any say-so in a politician dressing up in a captain?
I think it comes from the board. That would probably come from the board. They might have something to say too, but I think the main thing will probably come from the head of Disney probably did it, or someone higher up than regular standard editor-in-chief. So just want to give a shout out to Tevius here. He says, hello. Jesse JLS Comics says, hey, what's up? Tevius asks, how's everybody's day going?
Doing good.
Pretty well. I told Cryptid right before Brevin got here that it's a good thing this is a Monday, because after today, everything gets really busy with the holiday coming up. So great that I put this on Mondays.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'm only expecting 5 hours of sleep a day after today, so.
Yeah, same. I probably won't even get that because I won't sleep tonight. Tomorrow I'll be up cooking and stuff. Wednesday I'll be up cooking and stuff. So I probably won't sleep till like Black Friday.
No.
It will probably be like crazy. Black Friday night I'm just gonna probably pass out. But let's see. JLS Comics says Captain America punching Hitler in the face is pretty political. It's been happening for a long time. Yes, it has. But I mean, like, which recently with the political climate, I can understand. But again, recently they let that happen in their book. So,
Oh, yeah.
Terry says, any opinion on the Kappa situation? So, I guess we'll talk about this real fast. I know Cryptid doesn't use his channel really. It's just more for a viewer, right, Cryptid?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. So Brevin and I both make videos, and there's a new thing with Kappa. We don't really know any full information on it yet. It's like they're very vague and very like weird about the way that they're saying it. But anything that's kids content has to be marked kids content. If it will appeal to anybody underneath the age of 13, which I think is stupid because YouTube is not supposed to be open to anybody underneath the age of 13. You're supposed to be 13 or older to be on YouTube. That's what in your little what's that called? I can't think. Terms of
service.
Yeah, terms of service says you gotta be 13 or older to be on YouTube. I understand why they're doing it because you don't want kids to see like you don't want a 3-year-old who's watching Teletubbies or whatever the friggin' kids show is today. I'm totally out of touch because my nephews are older now, so I don't know them as well as I did back then. But they'll watch like wherever like the Wiggles or whatever on YouTube, and then get an advertisement for like someone killing someone in a movie, like a horror movie, So I understand the reason behind it, but they really need to see it as different because like toys, they're not all made for kids, Even though a kid might click on a toy video, not all toys are made for kids. Like someone who's doing a He-Man 35th anniversary edition, figure shouldn't have to worry about if a 5-year-old is going to watch that because it's made for people who are, of an older generation who wants to be nostalgic about that. JLS Comics does a lot of the, those information videos on, superhero movies and G.I. Joe. Recently, he's been doing a lot of them. Technically, those are all cartoons and comic books, and they will all be considered for kids, but they're not. They're for adult viewers, video gamers, most of the games that people play that they do video game walkthroughs are for older, more mature games, but I just think like they're really out of touch with what passes for kids. I understand why they're doing it, but my solution, do a kids tube. Like create kids tube.
To be fair, I think they do have YouTube Kids around. It just I think YouTube Kids is also having like this huge problem though, where it was recommending stuff that wasn't in YouTube Kids to kids and things like that.
Yeah, then that's on YouTube. They need to fix their algorithm. But just say, look, if you want to do it, go to YouTube Kids, and that's the only place you can go to, and then. If you break that rule, then that's up to your parents to do that. If your parents put you on YouTube and your parents let you go watch YouTube, then that's on their parents. That's not on the child. That's not on the YouTube. That's on the viewer content. Personally, I don't collect any revenue, so it's not going to affect me revenue wise unless I get fined for something that I've grossly because if you keep doing it, they'll say that like if you lie about what your content is, they can fine you like $400,000
up to $42,000. I was watching another video of a guy named Channel Fundamentals. He was talking about like it's probably not going. There's a lot of people who are talking about like it's not going to be as bad as it makes it sound like.
I don't think it will be. I mean, I put what I'm doing for me personally. I'm going by the comic book and by the content. Like this show, I put that out for kids because I don't think this is like something that's going to appeal to kids, you know. But like my She-Ra videos, I am going to mark them for kids because they are aimed at kids. You know, I don't know about Power Rangers yet. How I'm gonna do it because I still got a couple months to finish marking off my things, but like Power Rangers, I'm not sure because they're made for kids, but my videos aren't aimed for them. They're made for for that. So that I might go with kids just for the hell of it. But again, I don't really care. The only thing I'm missing about it is the audience interaction there. You know, that's the only thing. Like they won't be able to comment.
Oh, you can go Cryptid.
Yeah, I find it weird, like, you know, to other YouTube channels having to openly admit we're not for kids, like that whole label, you know. That's just my thought.
But even that, it may not actually work because they can say this is not for kids, but if YouTube decides or COPPA decides that it is for kids, then they overrule you because that's what they're basically saying.
Wow.
You can tell us what you have, but we have the right to overrule you because if we think that it does this, that it is disingenuous or it does defy what we determine as kids, even though we're not telling you exactly what the kid's situation is. But if it appears to be kids because of our standards, then we're going to change it. And which that I think is wrong because like if you're not telling us what the actual limit, the actual standard is, then we don't know what to mark them correctly. You won't tell us, but you want us to follow the rules.
There were a couple of different reports saying that YouTube actually had like this weird middle ground originally, but they decided not to go with it. Like there was like going to be a middle ground where it says it's not for kids, but it's not like for adults. There was going to be a wiggle room, but they decided to cut it out for some reason. Mm-hmm. I heard there was a report about that as well. So it's crazy. It's pretty crazy, honestly. I don't know how it's going to happen.
I honestly think it should be on the viewer. I wonder. I think that the burden should be on the viewer, honestly, because a parent should be able to like. TV doesn't do that,
Yeah, it doesn't.
A TV doesn't do that. It says what it is, it says made for PG-13 or whatever. They told us to put that on like a thumbnail or something like that. That's all right. That's cool, Put PG-13, made for every, PG, rated PG.
That would be kind of interesting to do. Just have all your videos have a thumbnail with like an E
or like 14 plus or 13 below, something like that. I would say that's more okay. But at the end of the day, on TV, it's a parent's choice to let their kids watch something. If the parent deems it's okay, and there are commercials on TV shows that a kid shouldn't see. Like there are advertisements for horror movies and Jerry Springer shows that kids should not see, but they see them because they're watching shows that they shouldn't be watching, So at the end of the day, I think it should be on to the viewer. It should be the viewer. When you agree to the terms of service, you're agreeing to the terms of service, and that's just my take on it. I'm personally okay. Like if they ban my channel, I'll just go for another medium. I'll go for another route to do the show once a week or whatever. Or I'll do my videos on my channel. On my site, that's where my videos will go to. Like either way. So, but I feel bad for other people who have great content. Like I watch some great Power Ranger YouTubers. I watch some great comic book YouTubers, and all kinds of great YouTubers, anime YouTubers, all that stuff. And I just think it's bad for like some of them are like really worried. I'm not really worried about it, like one way or the other. I think it's not going to be as bad as everyone's thinking. Like they're like, how many videos have popped up on my suggested feed? Like, this is my last video ever on YouTube. Thanks, Kappa. I said okay. I said cool, and Kappa fined me. Nobody's getting fined yet. Like, and all these people are like, oh, I know someone who said they got fined already. They're not getting fined yet. Nothing's going to happen until the beginning of the year. So anybody who said that they got fined already is
Right.
Probably lying.
How
they're just
drastic
making
is
it
the fine,
worse.
though? I wonder.
What you say, Cryptid?
It's up to
How drastic
$42,000.
is it? What?
Up to $42,000 a video.
It's up to $49,000. You might not get $14,000. It's apparently supposedly based on how many views and subs you have, apparently, and how much money you're making off the video. I think it's based off of that.
Well, see, I think with that it could actually hurt. It depends on if Kappa's doing it or if YouTube's doing it. Because if it's a video that got like 3 million viewers, that's making YouTube a lot of money. So they may not come out those people as much as they do the little ones. But if it's Kappa, they might go after them and leave the little YouTubers alone. So either way, but like I've seen people say like, oh, a friend of mine said that they got fined already. No, you didn't. They're not doing the fines yet because they said you don't even have to comply yet. They're just telling you get ready, start doing it now so you're ready by the beginning of the year. But let me just read some of these comments.
It's all on Kappa.
Let me see. All right. Terry says the whole situation scares him. It does a lot of people, honestly. I'm kind of like okay with it, like I said. JLS says our channels will be fine. There's a mixed audience, general audience exception in Kappa that we fall under. I hope so. Like just for like I said, a lot of the YouTubers I watch, they fall in that category.
Again, that category is what is supposed to exist, but I don't know if YouTube and Kappa will officially like allow it or agree to it or not. That's the question, really. Will they agree to it? Will they not? It just depends.
I hope there is. Like, I think there should be some kind of common sense thing when it comes to it. This is a common sense. Like, they should apply common sense to a lot of things. Terry says, "I hope my channel will be okay." I hope so too, Terry. Like video game review, like Mario. Do you think people are going to jump ship to Vimeo? I don't know.
Vimeo.
I think a lot of people like. I've seen a lot of big YouTubers are like, "Oh, if this doesn't like, if this is it, if my channel gets, I'm going to PayPal, not PayPal, what's it called, Patreon, and Vimeo, and if you or Twitch or something like that, and if if YouTube does fail and nobody jumps over there and starts paying me on Patreon, then I guess I'll just end my ride." I'm like, seriously? Like, I mean, I understand with some people, but the way other people put it, like, some people didn't put it that way. They put it like, well, we have Patreon, we have our Patreon, and hopefully that will go good, but we're going to continue doing content. And there's people who are like, well, if you don't, sign up for Patreon, we're just going to close down shop. I'm like, wow, that's like, telling people either do it or pay you. Or
there you go. Yeah, that is. I probably would just go to something like Vimeo or like another video sharing site.
Yeah, or Twitch or something like that. Yeah.
Twitch actually would probably work because Twitch is actually a little bit bigger than Vimeo is. Like,
yeah,
I can see people actually jumping to Twitch more likely.
And Jesse said a lot of channels went to BitChute. I never even heard of that. I never heard of that.
Are you sure there's a lot of channels? Like, how many views are you going to get on a place called BitChute?
But here's the thing. Eventually, this rule is going to wind up going to all those other services too, because I don't see it just staying on YouTube. Even though YouTube's the big dog in the field, it's like if something happens above ground, it's eventually going to roll down. It's going to affect all those other sites too. That's just my prediction. If it happens on one, it's going to happen to all because it wouldn't be legally fair. I have no idea what's BitChute. I don't either.
BitChute sounds like a bad word, honestly.
Yeah, it does. It almost does. JLS says it's just another hosting platform. I'll check it out though. There's Vernod, which is another video hosting platform. Never heard of that one either. I thought you first time you wrote that, Tevye, I thought it was a I said Vimeo because I thought it was actually a typo. I didn't know Vernon must be an actual thing. I never heard of that.
Hmm.
Let me see.
There's also TikToks and stuff too.
The problem with Tevye is Kappa is the government, and they're going to go after all other platforms. That's exactly what I said, Jesse. Like, I don't see them just going after, oh, YouTube's the big problem. No, they'll go after the other ones too, because it will be the same as I think. Kids are watching them, you know? It's the way the digital medium is. I just think, honestly, the best thing to do is have parental controls on your computers. Like, know what your kids are doing, you know? I get this is the digital age, but you should still know what your kids are doing. My parents knew what I was watching on TV. That's it. You know, like being an involved parent.
Yep.
Don't let your kid. Don't say here's some digital device. Go, you know, leave me alone. You know, be an active parent. I mean, that's sadly what happens a lot. Kids get a tablet or whatever, and it's like, here, go watch what you want. Leave mommy or daddy alone so we can go do this. You know, they're doing whatever they want to do, and then, you know, their kids absorbing the stuff, and be an active parent.
I mean, I have plenty of nephews and nieces, and like, you know, once they get a smartphone, they're watching whatever they want on that. Yeah. You know.
But also, smartphones also have parental controls on it, where you can block stuff. You know, you can limit what they do. Like, you can limit, because my nephew has a smartphone. He's 12 years old. He's limited on how much he can go on certain apps. You know. Like, you can't go on this app more than this many times, this many hours a day, and all that. So it limits people from that. I mean, you can do it on your own smartphone for yourself, you know? Like, if you feel like you're on Twitter too much, you can limit the amount of time that you're on Twitter. You can go in there and you can put that you don't want to, you know, only be allowed on Twitter an hour a day or something like that. You can do that for yourself if you want. There's apps on smartphones that do that. There are settings. $42,000 sounds insane. It is, but I think that, again, that's going to be like serious offenders, like, you know, someone who has a clearly marketable video for kids, and they're going to say, "Oh, this is an adult video." Yeah, I think those are the people that are coming after.
It's going to stop a lot of trolls.
Yeah, I don't think like someone who's doing a He-Man 35th anniversary figure review is going to be that person who gets the big fine. Because I don't think they could see that and be like, okay, that's really not aimed for kids, you know. So I think eventually that's how it's going to be. He says, "Is Vernon, which is another different YouTube channel." Okay, it's something like YouTube. I never even heard of that though. But all right, so let's go on to the next.
On to the next topic.
Yeah. Let's go into a little bit less serious topic. Well, you know what? I just want to get into this because I think this is something that we talked about a little bit. I think I talked with it about Cryptid when we were talking about Alan Moore. Alan Moore did an interview. We were talking about, like, I think it was like in the news for we were talking about, or maybe it was someone else, the Watchmen series that's coming out by Tom King.
Oh yeah,
and I said about Alan Moore being mad about it. Well, Alan Moore basically said that modern superhero culture is embarrassing in the interview. And he's saying that comic books aren't made for us. They're made for 13-year-old boys, 13-year-old kids. So we shouldn't be reading comic books. And honestly, the writers of comic books are almost like I want to get this quote right because I think he said something on the lines of like pedophiles or something like that. He says something like that. It's like really cringy, the quotes that he said. And this is from a UK, a BBC interview that he did, I think like a year or so ago. He says superheroes are perfectly fine for 12 or 13-year-olds, but adults should think again. I think the impact of superheroes on popular culture is both tremendously embarrassing and not a little worrying. He believes the characters are perfectly suited to imaginations of a younger audience, but now they serve a different function and are fulfilling different needs. The writer claims adults enjoy superhero films because they don't wish to leave their relatively reassuring childhoods behind or move into the 21st century. Let me see. There's also, he says, and his criticism extends to creators. He says superheroes are written and drawn by people who've never stood up for their own rights against the companies that employ them, saying they appear to be largely employed as cowardice compensators. He claims the lack of diversity in the comics book would suggest the book and iconic characters are still very much white supremacist dreams of the master race.
Harsh word.
And this is the guy that people feel bad for about Watchmen. Still feel bad about him, people? You still feel bad for this guy who basically said, you shouldn't be reading the book. You still feel bad for him. I'm just saying, the same guy who's saying that, like, diversity in comics, that means on both ends. He was saying as a character and as a writer and creators is a white supremacist. Like,
wow.
I don't even know what to say to him. Honestly, he's been saying that for years, but plus that BBC interview is old. That's what Terry said. Actually, it is old, but it just got published.
Let's not pretend like Alan Moore is still not having like just like a hatred of superheroes just generally. It's kind of ironic looking at it now, especially with everything he's done, like in the past with Killing Joke and stuff.
Oh yeah,
but
he still writes comic books. I mean, and like he still wrote he did a comic book that long ago. I think it was like a year ago or something, 2 years ago maybe. He wrote a comic book. So he's just pissed because DC's making money. Comic book companies are making money off of him with contracts that he agreed to. Things like the Watchmen contract and other contracts that he's done. He agreed to those contracts. No one held a gun to his head. No one shook him over a balcony and said, "Sign this before I drop you." None of that was done. It was, "Do you want this money? Sign this paper." He was like, "Yeah, give me that money. I'm signing the paper." That was basically how it was. And he's acting like a spoiled child who's throwing a tantrum and saying like, "Oh, these people are horrible now because I don't want to be associated with them. They're Philistines. Like they're below me." Dude, you did the same exact thing for years. You got your money off of them. You're still collecting money off of them. I don't care what he says. He's still getting those royalty checks and he's cashing them. There's not like a stack of royalty checks that he's just not cashing. Like those checks are coming in and he's cashing every single freaking check.
He definitely just has like a lot of jealousy with everything that's happened with like his Watchmen work. How he doesn't get like, his name's not even on the Watchmen show's credit page a lot of times, and that's kind of his own choice, his own volition. Because of all that, it's Alan Moore. What you gonna do?
I just think it's funny because like Terry,
I understand why Watchmen doesn't want to put his name on
because he's a big baby. I mean, he's just basically being a big baby. He doesn't want, like, he got mad because Terry, I totally disagree with that he got screwed over with the Watchmen. He didn't. He signed a contract that as long as they used the book, used the characters, they had the rights to it. Well, it was a successful book. You think they're going to just give that up? That's stupid.
Imagine a world where Watchmen wasn't successful. Imagine a world where Watchmen didn't become this literary piece of pop culture. I don't think he would care. I don't think he would care at that point.
I mean, it was just a book that was at the right time. And again, if it didn't, and these characters aren't even original characters. They're rips off of characters that already existed, They're not like, oh, these are brand new characters I just created. No, you created a character that was just like this character because you weren't allowed to use those characters because they were going to be used in the DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths. They were going to redo them with the big reboot of the universe.
That's a bird.
Imagine if he had used those characters. That's even less royalty for him because it's not even his character.
Yeah, because then you want to be the creator.
Boy.
But I mean, like instead of Dr. Manhattan, it would have been Captain Marvel. You know, that's what it would have been. I mean, not Captain Marvel. Captain Atom.
Captain Atom.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next piece. All right. This is something that Cryptid put out from the Marvel Comics February 2020 solicitations. Valkyrie is going to get a new co-writer, which is Torun Grenbeck. So Marvel went and got a what is it? a Nordic woman, Nordic female writer to co-write Valkyrie. It's like, how specific does a writer have to be to write something? Does a person have to be a redheaded female paraplegic to write an Oracle story? Like, is that what it's going to get down to? Like, are you going to be that specific on who can write a character? Like, I just thought it was a little funny that they actually found someone who is from the areas, the Norse mythology, and and it's a female to write that. And she's on writing it, to be fair, because Jason Aaron's gonna be the co-writer. But still, I think it's like funny. I think that's kind of funny.
I'm just surprised they're like replacing Al Ewing on this book now, to be honest. Al Ewing's a pretty big name at this moment, Immortal Hulk and all, so to replace him,
I think because it's kind of different than what he's doing on Immortal Hulk, and it's not doing as well. It's not. I mean, you got Mr. Ed over here, and then you got like a horror book over here. With this is Valkyrie with Mr. Ed, and then this is Immortal Hulk, which is like a horror werewolf type book. So which one of these don't belong. So I think they're like maybe his voice isn't the best for Valkyrie. Give it to someone else.
I kind of thought that they think that's the case because honestly, I think Al Ewing. I mean, we'll see what it's like with this little writer coming on and how much. I feel like at this point it's just going to become a Jason Aaron book because this writer hasn't written a whole lot before now, and I mean, it's honestly I'm okay with them getting this writer, but I mean I haven't read any of her stuff in the past, so I just feel like when you take because I feel like Jason Aaron has such a specific thing going on with his Thor run, and with him apparently ending it, but then he's going to he's continuing it on in Jane Foster Valkyrie right now, and I always kind of felt like him and Al Ewing being on that boat together. I always kind of felt like, okay, we have two established comic book writers who've been writing this medium for a decent while, who have a lot of sway and a lot of good. I worry the book is going to might dip in quality because with this new writer a little bit. I'm just a little bit worried about that happening. Or it's just going to become a Jason Aaron book.
I'm worried about
Jason Aaron being on any Norse mythology book. Like, get him off of the Thor bandwagon. I want him on something totally different. Don't put him on like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That would be
something
awesome.
where it's not Thor related. Don't give him a Thor adjacent.
Not Ghost Rider related.
Yes, for Cryptid. Don't make it anything Ghost Rider either.
Make the next.
A lot of people were saying
Ghost Rider ongoing series written by Jason Aaron. That's all I'm asking. That's my Christmas present.
A lot of people were saying that Jason Aaron would probably be a really good Spider-Man writer.
Oh yeah.
I don't know because I don't see his humor. Like, he does have that humorous tone. Like, Spider-Man needs. I think honestly, despite Nick Spencer's political stance on Captain America, as we talked about earlier, he's been really good for the voice of Spider-Man, and so has what's his name? Tom
Taylor.
Tom Taylor, yeah, he's been really good. Like, the Spider-Man books, I think are in good hands right now. I don't want to see Jason Aaron on them.
I would like to see Jason Aaron on Cat book. From what little I've read of, the Avengers, aside from my frustration with Robbie, I thought he did that book.
All right, and we'll go on to the Boom Studios solicitations that came out. The one book I'm really looking forward to this month is their new book. The one we talked about on, I think it was New York Comic Con with Brevin, Alienated #1, which is basically these kids find an alien, and it's like E.T., but it's all screwed up because like these kids aren't like these aren't Elliot, they're not like good kids. They're like they're getting in trouble and all that, and they use this alien who's basically a weapon, for other things. So it sounds really interesting to me, like the premise of that. You guys have anything that stand out to you in the Boom Studios or no?
I mean, I don't realize stuff from Boom.
Not much thoughts, I'm afraid.
And Power Ranger side, it looks like Ranger Slayer is coming back in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #48. It says the return of a fan favorite, and on that cover is Ranger Slayer with her bow up like this. So I know she's a popular character,
cool.
And she's got a figure coming out next year too. So
cool. I wonder if the Psycho Rangers are gonna pop up there.
They would be cool. I want to see what they do after that Psycho path. This is something that Tevye wanted us to talk about. The Zara family is going to appear in the Terrifics #22. I think that comes out Wednesday. So I read the Terrifics. I think it would be cool to see them, but it's not like big for me. It's not big like, oh, I'll buy the Terrifics just because they're in there. I mean, I'm buying the Terrifics because I buy the Terrifics. All right.
I felt so far away from Terrifics. I don't know even how. I think I just got lost in the everything. I was keeping away for such a long time, and then I kind of just stopped one day.
Hey, that's the nature of the beast. Sometimes you're in a book and then you just drop it, and then you're like, oh, I forgot about that book. All right. We got the Legion of Superheroes #2 has been delayed 2 weeks. This is another thing that Tevye suggested for us.
Ouch.
I mean, he's got like 10 books out right now, so something it's going to happen. Brian Michael Bendis has so many titles right now on his plate, and he's curating the Wonder comics. So there's a lot of work that he has to do. I think he should honestly be limited to like 2 books.
That's maybe 3.
Tevye was the one who suggested this comment topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just can't wait to rant about that.
Yeah, he just wants to exactly. He just wants to rant about John's book because Tevye does not like that John's in that book.
Yeah, I don't either.
All right. The last comic news before we go on to the rest of the media news, but this is something I want to talk about because this is also very comedically ironic for Marvel. Talking about earlier with the political stuff, and I think Brevin said about surprised at the the editor-in-chief and all that. But how about an editor-in-chief who posed as a Japanese writer, said that he was a Japanese writer? Remember, what's his name?
C.B. Cebulski.
C.B. Cebulski pretended to be a Japanese writer to write a Wolverine story. He created a whole thing. He created a whole identity for this guy.
Yeah.
He catfished Marvel. That's what he did.
He catfished an entire company, an entire multi-million-dollar company,
and the fandom by saying he was a Japanese guy. And now he's taking on one of their most known properties. They're taking on, and I laughed when I wrote this, when I published this article on Comic Fanatic, because he is quoted in there I'm like, wow, really? Like, they're just skipping the fact that he impersonated a Japanese guy, right? Like, they're just acting like that never happened. I just thought that was so comical that they did that. But on the real thing though, I'm excited for this. Ultraman is coming to comic books. I mean, anything that gets Ultraman into the United States, I'm all for. Anything that's tokusatsu, if they can get that into the United States, I'm all for it because I think it's a really cool genre that a lot of people don't know about, where they just say, "Oh, that's kiddie because it's Power Rangers," or teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills, like they think of all those sillier things, but like Tokusatsu is really cool. Like if you watch Tokusatsu, like I watch Kamen Rider, I watch Super Sentai, they're really cool. And Power Rangers is really cool when they're done right, So yeah, I think Ultraman coming to comics is cool. You guys know anything about Ultraman or excited about this? Going to give it a try?
I actually am really excited for this Ultraman book. I don't know a whole lot about Ultraman, but aside from this song that I used to listen to by Adam Warwick about Ultraman, that was really awesome. But I'm really excited for this. I think lately comics have been like doing a lot of stuff with like Japan a lot now. And it's kind of been cool to see like the mix of cultures that we're kind of getting in the comic book realm. And it's just kind of continuing that. So it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. I like that they bring that in. I wonder how it's going to be. Is it going to be more like the show? Is it going to be more like the anime that just came out this year? That or was it last year? That Netflix anime series.
Yeah, Ultraman.
I wonder which one it's going to be like. How about you, Cryptid?
I haven't seen Ultraman in a long time, honestly. I remember owning a couple of his VHS tapes back when I was a kid, but that was just about it. So
yeah, I grew up on Ultraman. Like I grew up on watching him on TV. Ultraman, like that's what I say. Like, and I don't even think like kids in my generation really knew it was Japanese stuff. We just thought it was cool. Like I don't think we cared. Not that we didn't know, we just didn't care. Like I think today a lot more emphasis is on, oh, this is from there, this is from that. This is a white actor, this is a black actor. I think kids when I was growing up, we didn't give a shit. We just watched TV. I don't think we cared who was the star of the show, what was going on. If it was cool, we watched it, But Tevye says, I am personally burned by Bendis. He has just ruined everything with my boy John Kent, Superboy. We knew that was coming. And then he says, Ultraman, awesome. So let's go on to next piece. Joker could be getting a sequel. Okay, so the Hollywood Reporter reported that it's definitely a go. That he went in there and he said we're going to get it. We want 20 movies, blah blah blah. And he said that he never went.
Actually,
huh?
We should all have expected this if Joker's getting a sequel.
Oh yeah, it's definitely getting it. I mean, it joined the $1 billion club. I mean, it made $1 billion. This movie was made for $55 to $70 million. Some of that was a tax cut, so they didn't even have to pay all that much money for it. Okay, I think they didn't have to pay like 25% of that or something like that. It was a great deal that they got, and it made $1 billion. It's the highest grossing R-rated movie ever, and it's the most profitable comic book movie ever made. Now, a lot of people misunderstand that. Doesn't mean that it made more money than any comic book ever made. It's just that it means that it made more money in profits. So, again, $55 million to $1 billion. That's a lot of difference there, than a movie that was maybe 600 million, There's a lot of difference in there. So you're making it like they made a lot more profit. Do you think there should be a Joker sequel?
I personally would have liked it if they just kept it a one and done movie.
It definitely should have been a one. It definitely should be a one and done movie. I think I would rather them have done.
How about instead they decide they're going to do a same cast, same director, everything, but they're going to do Joker and Harley.
Oh God!
Or something like that, you know. Bring in Harley Quinn.
Right there.
That sounds terrible.
I mean, if you're going to do a Joker sequel, I think they have to bring in Harley Quinn.
Oh, she's gonna make money. She'll bring the profit and merchandise, you know.
Yeah, she
we
will.
might actually get a comic accurate Harley, a version of Harley. Everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Like something, like even what they're doing in the Black Label. You know, even what they're doing in the Black Label with Harley, that would be really cool. I think because it's more psychological, more adult themed. I think that would be great with that. And it's very true to the comic book nature. I mean, the anime series Harley, the classic Harley, is not you know, it's traditional Harley. I think if they do a sequel, they have to bring in Harley for it because I don't think there's something that you can do without Harley in the sequel.
I think I would not want Harley. I would think I would rather just have them have like a Harley with like get the same director, same kind of tone.
Harley would be a different actress though.
I mean, obviously, I would know that, but like, I don't know, I just don't see that working still because just where that movie left off. That movie leaves off in a place where there isn't really a lot where you can go with that movie. Even with like adding like a Harley Quinn, it would just be, I don't know, it would just be weird.
Or they could make it into an anthology series and be like, instead of like a Joker sequel, the next movie would be, you know, maybe Riddler, you know, or something like that, like some other villain's origins, like, and to say that this is a sequel to it in spirit but not in form, you know, like there's a sequel in the fact that it's a different character but it's an origin and a darker tone, you know, that I can see them doing too. So either bring in Harley or do that.
I would like that pitch, but would any of other Batman's villains make money though? That's the thing.
Well, I think Riddler would make money, and so would Penguin. Those are still like
I think the
big.
Ones will.
Those are still big villains. I wouldn't want them to do like all the villains, but I could see them doing like maybe like one or two and seeing how those would do.
Yeah, I can see Mr. Freeze doing like, you know, like that. I can see it be a really dark movie too. You know.
I just don't like the idea of them doing a Joker sequel at all, really. But if they were going to have to do one, I would rather probably do that than like a straight up sequel.
I mean, it's not. Yeah. It's going to be made. Like definitely. Like you're not going to make that much profit and not make another movie.
Yeah.
WB would be dumb as all hell if they didn't try to make it capitalize on that success. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hear in the next 6 months about the makings of it. You know.
Wait. Have a question. How likely do you guys think it's going to be that, I know some people have said this, that they're going to just kick the Jared Leto Joker to the side and they're going to bring in Joaquin Phoenix Joker? How likely do you guys think that's going to happen?
That would be a bold move. It would be a bold move. That. But
I'm looking up something for Tevye. All right, Tevye. Endgame's budget was $356 million. Okay. Let me see. Their box office was 2.798 billion. Okay, so yeah, still more profitable than Endgame. The percentage of revenue that they got back was far greater than the revenue that Endgame got back. It's not, again, it doesn't mean that they made more money than Endgame, just that they made more profit than Endgame did. Because that's what Tevye said. He also says the Joker doesn't need a sequel. This sounds like a terrible idea. It felt like a one-off.
I'm pretty sure you said the exact same thing about the Joker movie when it was announced, and yet it
He did. He said it was a terrible idea to do a Joker solo movie.
We don't need a Joker movie, is what you said. I remember that. And look, it made $1 billion. So
he said, isn't that the Gotham TV show? No, I'm saying like not like they won't like they don't even have to all tie into the same movie like universe. They don't even have to tie it all into the same universe. There could be different things, different things could be in different universes. Like you don't have to say that they're all connected. That's the glory of the Joker movie. It doesn't have to be connected to anything. It's just a standalone movie. So you could do a standalone Mr. Freeze movie and have it nothing to do with the Joker movie. It's just about Mr. Freeze. It doesn't have to mention anything that happened in Joker.
Just like in Gotham, it was just a Penguin show, to be honest.
Yeah, and it was that Penguin. It was like the best. I forget what I was watching something recently, and you mentioned something. I forget what it was. What was it? They mentioned the Joker in it. It was a TV show or animated series, but in it the Joker was Jack Napier. So it was the Joker from there. Or I don't know. I remember the name Jack Napier, which means it's the Joker from the Batman 1989. They gave him a name, but not this movie. But all right, what about the Black Adam movie? We'll talk about that right now. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says the JSA will appear in the Black Adam movie. They've been talking about having them appear in the DC universe in the Black Adam movie. What do you guys think about the JSA appearing in that movie? I'm cool with it personally because Black Adam has some connections to them. They keep based off of like the Jeff Johns stuff. I'm good with that.
Which is literally what they've been doing anyway, so I'm good with it too.
Made. That's all I'm concerned. Good that the JSA is going to be in it, or to some degree, but I want to see a trailer first before I get an opinion.
I think they said they're already filming, so it's already at least somewhat tangible. But a trailer would be probably the most concrete way of just seeing.
I also want to see more than just fan art of him as Black Adam. Like I want to see more than just this is what a fan did. I want to see him actually in the costume. I want to see a set picture or something.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if any of you watched Doctor Who, but the season 12 trailer came out on Doctor Who.
Yes.
It looks really cool.
Yes.
It looks like a really good season. So
yes, I'm ready for this.
So Brevin, I don't think you really shared your opinions on this. You're passionate with this. So what do you think about the trailer?
So I'll leave this to you guys.
Yeah, I love this. I like the trailer too a lot. I think only said it was coming out early next year. Just early next year. We have like an exact date.
Early 2020.
Yeah, so we don't have an exact date though.
No, they didn't give us exact date. It's set early 2020.
Dang. That's my only problem is that we don't have an exact date. I wish I could know. But yeah, it looks really interesting and kind of like it just feels like Doctor Who. I'm kind of happy to have it back again. Just generally because it's been a decent while since we've seen it.
Yeah, I think they took a good bit off since the last one.
Yeah, my only thing was that I kind of hate that they released a teaser. I always hate when movies the day before the trailer comes out, like a few weeks, they release the little teaser that just says Doctor Who trailer soon.
What was missing? What was good because it came out on Doctor Who Day. They released this on Doctor Who Day, so which was I think Saturday. So I was glad with it. I'm pleased with it. And she's also going to wear a version of the 10th Doctor's clothes in one episode, so that's pretty cool. And if they do, it will be really,
Let's have the Cyber Mirror back too, which is really cool.
Yeah, and you know what's cool? If she does last for 3 seasons, the 13th Doctor's last season would be the 13th season, and the 14th Doctor would be season 14. I mean, I think it lines up perfectly because normally they're 3 seasons apiece, the Doctors. So and Cryptid, because Cryptid doesn't watch Doctor Who, so Doctors are normally 3 seasons. except for the Ninth Doctor, because he didn't think it was going to be popular. That's the reason why he didn't sign up for it. He didn't think Doctor Who would be popular enough. So he was just like, one done is good for me. And then it's going on for this new version is 13. And this is going to be on, I think it's going to be on NBC Peacock. They're going to have Doctor Who thing. Let me see.
Good Peacock? I think it was HBO Max, actually. I'm not sure.
Doctor Who.
Who has the rights to it? I thought it was HBO anyway.
It might be. It might be HBO.
Yeah, it's coming to HBO. Yeah, I thought so.
I'm writing the article. I know I was writing about both of those things today, so I was going back and forth. So yeah, HBO Max is going to have Doctor Who, which is a big plus for that thing. I think that's going to be like a big push for people to get that, because Doctor Who is hard to get on streaming. I
remember Netflix had it for a while, then it just went away.
That was so disappointing when they canceled it, because Netflix that same year they lost Doctor Who, Monk, Psych, and some other show. I can't think of the other show, but it was like 4 of the shows that I loved watching on there, and Murder, She Wrote too. All 4 of those shows just like went off of there, and I was like, damn, like I lost all of them within a year. I was like, man, that sucks. But Psych is going to I think NBC Peacock. That one I think is going to NBC Peacock, and they're going to have a new movie. They're going to have the Psych movie too. So Psych fans, you're going to have that. But all right, this is something I think Cryptid shared, which is Sabrina Sofia DiMartino to appear in Disney's Loki series.
Oh yeah.
So it would be funny. Is she gonna be a female Loki, or is she gonna be the Enchantress?
He thinks it is gonna be female Loki. I think it probably is too. Honestly, I would love to see Enchantress. I've been dying to see Enchantress in a Thor movie.
It would be funny if it's Enchantress. Sabrina the Teenage Witch playing the Enchantress. It's kind of like a little tongue in cheek, So I think that would be pretty funny if it is.
My money's still on female Loki, honestly.
Plus, I want Tom Hiddleston to be in drag to play the female Loki. I want to see him in drag playing the female Loki. I'm sorry, I don't want another actress to play her. I want him to be just in drag as he plays the female Loki. I think that would be so hilarious.
That would be great.
I raise for that. I'll say that.
I think that would be so hilarious. Can you imagine that on screen? Like, him just dressed up in a full female, like, them giving him fake breasts and everything. I just think it would be hilarious. And I think he would actually enjoy doing that on screen, like having that much fun doing it. Because he seems like a very fun actor.
That's very funny, especially when you look back at, like, let's say the first Thor movie, right? You have Thor and Loki, and 10 years later, you look where they're at right now. Loki might be a woman, and Thor is pro Thor.
All right. So we got a trailer for the Titans season 2 finale, which also gives us the first look at him inside of the Nightwing suit. So I saw the trailer. I thought it was cool. I don't know who's going to be the Titan that dies, but they said Titan's supposed to die and Titan's supposed to rise. So it'll be interesting to see what it is. And we already know there's going to be season 3, but that Nightwing suit looks sweet as shit. I mean, I love it. I thought it was a really nice, well done, true to the comic book form. It doesn't look too weird. It looks like what I would want a Nightwing costume to look like. Did you guys see this trailer?
Cool.
And the suit?
I saw the suit. I didn't see the suit. It does look very comic accurate. And so does everything in Robin and Titan, as far as Robin is concerned in Titan. I think everything with Robin and Titan has been like the best stuff. I'm not currently right watching Titans the current season. I usually wait with DC Universe for Titans so it all finishes up, and I usually binge it afterwards. Probably gonna end up binging it when the Harley Quinn series comes out. So
The Harley
Cool.
Quinn series, I watched it. Brevin Campbell. I don't want to tell you, it is fun. I cracked up. I mean, I did a review for it, an advanced review for it. I cracked up every episode. Every episode had me cracking up in it. And King Shark is like my favorite character on that show. I did not expect to like him, but I freaking loved every scene he was in. When he was in a scene, I could not stop laughing at him. He was just funny. Whenever, like, if he's like wearing his little glasses and typing on a computer, or he's just like saying he's gonna kill somebody, it's just freaking hilarious. So that's just a little thing out there for people. Watch it. And by the way, again, that's not made for kids. That's 17 and over.
Just for Kappa to know. Let Kappa know.
I did that in my video. I did say in my video when I reviewed that. I was like,
obvious enough, you know, it is not.
In the beginning of my video, I said, okay, this is not a kid show. Okay, this is made for 17 and older. So I'm reviewing this, and it's going to be marked as an adult, content, not kid content, because it wasn't. Like Harley Quinn itself, the series is 17 and above, so that's not appealing to any kids. But yeah, sure. I want to hear your thoughts on that show when it comes out, both of yours, if you watch it at all. But yeah, let me know, especially what you think of King Shark in there, because he's the best. I think he's the best.
I'll give it a shot once it comes out. When does it come out again?
Black Friday.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's gonna be one episode a week, I think. They're doing it weekly, so. Yeah. So, Cryptid, did you see the Nightwing suit?
I didn't see the Nightwing suit. I'm not really keeping up with Titans, so.
Okay. I think it's just very show accurate, though. I mean, comic accurate. All right. John Turturro is going to play Carmine Falcone in the Batman, which has a lot of people thinking, with Catwoman being in it, right? I think they announced she was in it, right? Didn't they?
Yes.
Joker,
Yeah.
Penguin, now Falcone. People are thinking The Long Halloween. So I think that would be a great, thing to tell. If they could do that in one movie, that would be awesome. Because that's one of the best Batman stories ever made. Like The Long Halloween, it's a complete story. You get all their villains in it. You get Batman in it. I mean, it's a really good book. So if they can do that and do it justice and on screen, I'm so into this Batman.
That's cool to hear. I mean, personally, for me, like the Falcone from Gotham is still very fresh in my mind. So I want to see how this guy handles Falcone.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with Batman in general. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, just got done watching Gotham, so, a lot of people are going to have that. And with me, it's Penguin. Like, Robin Lord Taylor is Penguin in my head right now. Like, it's hard to see anyone else. But I'm going to give it the other shot.
Cool. Any thoughts, Brevin?
I don't have any for this one.
Terry says yay to Nightwing. How do you think they're going to say Beast Boy and Connor Kent Superboy? That would be something I'll probably talk about when I review the season finale or something like that. So I don't want to give speculation for that because not everybody's caught up to that yet. It's actually good that it's a shock. Yeah, it was funny. And Terry says, this sounds like The Long Halloween.
Well, there
That's
you
what
go.
a lot of people are speculating right now. So, all right, the final piece is Stargirl. We talked about this once before. That the rumor was Stargirl was going to be on CW, not on DC Universe, and that rumor is half true because it's going to premiere on the DC Universe, and one day later, it's going to premiere on CW, and she's supposed to make her first appearance in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's bad for the platform, honestly. If you're having this stuff that's supposed to be original content, you're not going to put on basic TV. Like, you don't even have to have internet to watch that. Like, you can literally have a digital box, like, or a new TV, even. Like, if you have a new TV, any TV that came out in the last 10 years, I think, is digital ready. So all you gotta do is put an antenna on it, and you can watch Stargirl for free. Like, you don't even have to have cable. You don't even have to have basic cable. You just have to have an antenna.
I do not get what they're doing in the DC universe. Do they just want their app to die?
I don't know. I think eventually the DC universe is going to be absorbed into HBO Max. Because HBO Max is getting a couple of their shows too. Like they're going to air some of their shows on both platforms, on DC Universe and on HBO Max. So why even have DC Universe?
I hope DC Universe does like go into HBO Max, and that ever actually does. I hope their like comic catalog just goes to Comixology Unlimited at the very least.
I wouldn't mind if they took all the shows and all the back stuff, all the back library from DC Universe and put it onto HBO Max, and then put DC Universe as a add-on to HBO Max as the comic book library. You know, so
that'd be cool.
You have all the other stuff on HBO Max, and then the DC Universe. Like, you know, if you have Disney Plus, you have, you know, Star Wars, you have Marvel, you have Disney, you have National Geographic. They can have, you know, like HBO. They can have Warner Brothers. They can have DC, or even just DC Universe as a whole thing. You can have comics and all their shows all together. You know, I think that would be a smart thing to do. Because I don't see people really paying for it if you're getting everything but the comic books. I mean, and the comic books are a year later. You know, you get, like, you're just getting books now that were out last year. So it's not even like a 3-month thing. Like, I think Marvel, I think, is 3 months. You gotta wait 3 months, I think, for Marvel. And they need to do something more than that. And I think DC Universe is going to go the way of the dinosaur. It's going to be one of the first casualties. And it's going to be by its own. It's going to be by its own company, though. That's what's really messed up. It's going to be by its own company. They're absorbing it. They're killing it on its own. Like, you know, that's like me owning a pizza shop and then opening up another pizza shop right next door to it and having everything that I sell there, but cheaper. You know, like it doesn't make any sense to do that.
The only thing I think that's going to stop them from completion of DC Universe, or the fact that some people, you know, some people pay like those year subscriptions. I think that's the only way that could possibly stop it. Because they're probably getting some legal trouble if they. And one of people got like a year subscription. They're probably going to cut that first. I think they're going to cut that first and then cut the streaming service.
I think they're going to wait until they see how many people sign up for HBO Max. And if people are starting to drop DC Universe because of HBO Max, like you know, start seeing that dropping in it, they're gonna be like, oh shit, people are dropping out of this. Let's do something with DC Universe, and they're gonna absorb it into HBO Max. But I think it's gonna be a couple months into it before they do it. But they're definitely not gonna keep both those sites on both of those platforms open because it's gonna just kill it because HBO Max is already getting a lot of the content that is available on that's supposed to be original, exclusive content, and they're getting it on there. So if I'm paying money for HBO Max, which is $15, I'm not going to pay another $6 for. Actually, it's like I think the minimum one is like 8 something with tax and all that. By the time you get done paying tax, it's like 8 something for Disney DC Universe. It's like if you're paying it monthly, it's like $8.63 or something with taxes and stuff. So I'm not gonna pay another $8 for a service after I'm paying $15. I'm getting the same exact stuff, and all they're adding onto it is what?
And I don't think DC also said something that DC Universe hasn't even expanded into other markets, like other digital markets either. Like you don't get to see it on like a PS4 still or anything like that. They're not expanding anything yet. They're just staying the same. Like they're not adding anything new.
Yeah, like at least Disney, they have 2 platforms. They have Disney Plus, and then they're having Hulu. but they're doing something different with them. Hulu is for above PG-13, you know, and Disney Plus is gonna be
actually
PG-13 down.
you talk about Hulu for a second. The fact that like Disney bought all of Hulu and hasn't done jack with Hulu so far.
Well, that's because they only own right now. They only own 66%. NBC owns the rest of it. They own 34% of it. So
just to destroy it.
Yeah, me and my friends I'm like, cause like they're all their show they announced, like that Ghost Rider show. Only thing they still have on the book is that Offender show.
Ghost Rider was that was canceled. They're not doing
it. I know they canceled that. Only they have still on the book is that Offender. Just only thing they have. They literally just put on Disney Plus.
I think that's because of Feige.
They were saving Ghost Rider for the movies. That's what I heard.
Exactly.
Anyway.
I think it's all about Feige. Feige. I think he wants to keep everything controlled. He wants to control all the media, all the live action Marvel stuff. So Runaways doesn't fit in with their Marvel Cinematic Universe. It won't. Like it just. I don't think it fits the tone of it. You know, Cloak and Dagger doesn't fit the tone of it. So I think they're going. What he's doing is he's going to be rebooting those in the next like 10 years or something. Like within the next 5 to 10 years, those will be rebooted where they would and it will be on Disney Plus and they would fit into his picture of what the Marvel Universe MCU should be. You know, and Ghost Rider is going to be on there. You know, I think he's going to use. I guarantee you, Ghost Rider will be announced within the next year or so for Disney Plus maybe. And then he's going to bring it into because they said they're going to use the Marvel shows as a gateway to bring them into the MCU universe. So like you'll get their origin stories and all that there, and then they can throw them into a movie. You know, like oh, you want to see what Miss Marvel's origin is? Go watch Miss Marvel TV series, and then you can watch her in Captain Marvel 3 or 2. You know, like that's how they're going to do it. But yeah, I think that's how it's going to go. Tevin says that sucks about the whole HBO going on HBO Max thing, and he says he's worried about Young Justice season 4. Don't worry about that. That's being made. It's already in production. They're going to air it on DC Universe, and they'll probably will air it on
HBO Max. Probably.
On HBO Max also. Yeah, it'll probably be on there because that's like their #1 show on DC Universe. They're going to definitely do it on both.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it for the news. Unless anybody has anything else they want to say about the Stargirl.
Cool, Stargirl, I guess, or whatever.
Okay. All right, let's get on to some of the comic book stuff. All right, I just wanted to talk about the topic of the name of the show first. And we can talk about the 3 books that it's based off of. And if it's in anybody's top 5, you just say, you know, we already talked about that when we get to it. But we got Absolute Carnage. We got Ending. That ended this week. And then you got 2099 kicked off with 2 books. Well, 3 technically, because we got in Spider-Man, and then we got it in the 2099 Alpha and the Fantastic Four 2099. And then we also have Annihilation Scourge kicking off this week. So it's a big event week for Marvel. What did you guys think about Absolute Carnage this issue and just as a whole in general?
I felt like Absolute Carnage was a good story, but unfortunately all the times dragged it down a lot. It shouldn't have been an event, in my opinion. But, as big an event as it is right now.
Yeah, it could have been a contained event. And honestly, I didn't like the ending of it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it wasn't. And it doesn't even tell you where it's going to continue. Like, it just says, in the letters, it says, stay tuned for the next issue of Venom. You know, it would be a big one. But, like, it doesn't even tell you, like, oh, to be continued in this event. Like, at least when Event Leviathan did it, they did say at the end of that, this is what's coming next. You want to follow this story, continue it in this book, you know? You don't even know where to read about the, you know, they just left you with like a bunch of questions, like, what's Null gonna do? What is Eddie Brock's son? Like, what is he that he can do that to a symbiote? You know, what is he? They didn't answer that. And then he knows now that he's his son, so like none of that was answered. I think it was just like a non-ending ending, and I didn't like the way that they executed that.
And plus, like, didn't Absolute Carnage get an extra issue? Like, yeah, it got an extra issue, right? This was originally a 4-part event.
No, I think it was always supposed to be a 5-part. I think it was always supposed to be. I just think it feels like there's so many issues that are tacked onto it. I think it was a special or something. They did add a special in there in the middle or something.
Okay.
But I don't know. There's so many freaking Absolute Carnage books right now. I can't even keep them all straight.
That's how modern movies work.
One thing that I'm actually really disappointed of Absolute Carnage, like, it's involving like all the symbiotes, right?
Mm-hmm.
How come they didn't introduce Jimmy Hudson, Because that guy's a poison. I felt like he should have been a part of this event,
I don't know, they didn't even mention him at all.
Oh yeah, and he had no variants or whatever. I think at the end of Absolute Carnage number 5, you got like a lot of variants of all the other.
Yeah, they showed you a lot of the variants. Yeah,
but,
so even though it's over, let's look at all the variants.
Where was Jimmy Hudson? Like, he's the one and only Venom that's still a poison.
I think they're just like ignoring him. They're just like,
wow,
he doesn't exist anymore. Like poison doesn't
they
exist
him off
anymore.
So wild. Wow.
Brevin, you have any opinions on Absolute Carnage?
I don't read Absolute Carnage. Carnage.
Okay.
Carnage.
All right. Annihilation Scourge. Did any of you read it?
I read it.
What do you think about that?
I'm not usually. I don't usually read like all those cosmic stuffs, but I thought Annihilation was okay for what it was. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. So
yeah, it was just there. I just felt like it was there. We do get to see Sentry coming in at the end, so I'm interested to see more of him. But I hate that he's always evil. Like, come on. Like, didn't they just finish him where he was good now? Like his miniseries, didn't he end where he was like supposed to be in control of his personalities and all that? And now he's like evil again. I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just tired of him being evil all the time. Like, either make him a villain or make him a hero. Stop this back and forth with him. It just annoys me.
It reminds me of what they did with Sabretooth during Axis, right? Even after Axis, there were some issues where he was bad and some issues where he was still good,
Yeah. That's just like bad editorial. Brevin, you didn't get this one either?
Nope. I don't get any of the events, honestly.
One thing I found funny though is the bad guys in Annihilation, right? They're named Scourge, right?
Yeah. They're called the Scourge.
I found that coincidental since there's a character named Scourge that's currently in the Captain America comics, but
again, no editorial in Marvel.
That'll be freaky if they connect, if they end up connecting.
It would be. Especially because he does have the Revengers there. He does have a Revenger Captain America there. But yeah. I think I'm with you on this one too. Like it was there. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't horrible. It was just there. I think that's what I felt like most of Marvel this week. It was just there. There's some highlights in Marvel, but I think most of my Marvel books, I just felt like they were there. I'm surprised though that Tony Stark was actually as good as it was. But
my top 5.
Yeah, we'll definitely probably talk about that one. The last book is the 2099 book. So we got 2099 Alpha, and you didn't read that either, Brevin?
Nope, I didn't read any of the event books this week.
Okay. And Fantastic Four 2099.
It's a good thing we're now on 2099 because that was actually my least favorite. I'm not a 2099 guy, but I decided, what the hey, I'll get this cover. I'll get the book specifically just for this character right here, Deadpool 2099. And, well, which I've expected. She wasn't in the book at all. And I looked at the list at the end. you got all those shots, one shots for $20.99. I'm like, why couldn't you give Deadpool $20.99 a shot?
It would have been
No?
cool. I like Deadpool 2099. I honestly did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think it was like, again, it
That
was
was a
just
perfect opportunity.
it was just there. It wasn't anything like you didn't get anything that advanced the plot that was brought to you. And what pissed me off is that Amazing Spider-Man, it says at the end of it, follow the story in Spider-Man in 2099 Alpha #1, and it doesn't really connect. It doesn't really follow that story. It doesn't. But we do know that the Uatu is back. Like, how is he back? He's supposed to be dead on the moon. Like, Nick Fury is chained up on the moon because Uatu is dead. But in 2099, which is the definitive origin, I mean, it is the definitive future. They said it in Amazing Spider-Man that 2099 is the 616's definitive future. It changes because things are constantly changing in the past, but this is where this future is. It's not another timeline. They say it right in Amazing Spider-Man. It is the future of this Earth. Like, it is the future of this Earth. So, all the other ones he said, all the other futures that you've seen are all other universes. This is your future.
So does that mean we might actually get the OG Nick Fury back someday?
Hopefully. I mean, I don't see it happening because, they don't even use Nick Fury anyway. Like, no, like they don't even use Nick Fury. So the Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury or the David Hasselhoff Nick Fury is not being used in the comic books.
Lately.
He's in Punisher and Captain America though, but yeah, I can understand subtly,
Yeah, I mean but he's not like really being featured. Like, like they don't like use him. Like we need a Nick Fury book out, something like that, or a Shield book, something that brings Shield back.
You could argue that just mainly mainly because of the movies. Although now they've had him in Captain Marvel, maybe they'll slowly start bringing him back. I don't know. If they have any more plans for Nick Fury post Endgame, I don't know if they do or not.
I'm sure it'll be in Captain Marvel too. It'll be used as comic fodder again. He'll have no cool. He'll have no swag in Captain Marvel too, just like he had none in Captain Marvel. But
I'm gonna say something.
Yeah. So those are the three things that that came out this week. And Fantastic Four 2099 honestly was no different. It was like Herbie, the little robot from the Fantastic Four cartoon, and was in the comic books for a while. That replaced Johnny Storm. Is in the 2099, and his mom told him to gather the Fantastic Four if anything ever happens. And his mom is Valeria or Valeria, however you want to say that name. And she is she told him that if anything happens, to gather the Fantastic Four again. So he took that as create the Fantastic Four again, and he has been trying to create a new Fantastic Four family. But then if they disappoint him, he kills them. So there was this one where like the girl's made of like this diamond rock type thing. Her mother is a fire person. Another girl has stretch powers, and a boy was invisible. And they were about to come together, and then Herbie just goes psycho and kills them all. I was like, okay, all right, like that makes sense. It came out of nowhere. Like they all put their hands in. They're all like this, like we're gonna be a team, And they all put their they put their four hands in, and then all of a sudden you see like the Rock Girl's hand just like fall apart and all that, and you see like all the other ones are dropping, and you see Herbie say, my mother told me to get them. Don't worry, I'll find another family. Find another four. Like it's like I'm like Herbie's freaking killing people now. Like, but yeah. Because you see,
better than the actual 2099 issue.
But I'm saying, like you see, but it just came out of nowhere. Like you see, like how cute Herbie is in the 2099 Alpha, You seen how cute Herbie is in there? He's
Yeah.
not that cute in that book.
That sounds ridiculous.
But all right. So we had Cryptid's worst pick. Brevin, what is yours? Or your
I'm
least
gonna pick
favorite?
it out. I think it's a Loki book though. Yeah, it's a Loki book. Loki number
Loki.
5. Yeah, it was a Wild West issue. I don't know if you read it or not. It was like a them in the Wild West, and it was supposed to like it could have been like really fun, but I didn't get any enjoyment out of it personally.
Yeah, it was again. It's one of those lackluster Marvel books this week. There was a lot of lackluster Marvel books out there.
Yeah,
Which is sad. I'd like to see more from Marvel. I had 2 worst favorites. One was the Absolute Carnage number 5 because it was the ending that didn't end, and then also Marauders number 2.
we can have 2 worst favorites.
Well, it's just because
close, neck and neck, I guess.
Yeah, they're just like both. I didn't know which one was worse, but Marauders is mainly because of Kitty. Like they totally changed her. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kate. They're totally changing who she is. Like I don't know, between that and Excalibur, I'm like, who the hell is this chick? Like she's Kate Pride. She has nothing in common. Like she's like she doesn't even sound like Kitty Pryde, to me. Like nothing about her. Like in Excalibur, she's literally saying, "Oh, you got a hot tub? Don't worry. Make sure you got a hot tub when I come back." And Excalibur, watch the Lighthouse. Like I want a hot tub in there. Like when has Kitty Pryde ever said that kind of stuff? It was just I don't know. This is more about Marvel like reinventing characters so they can write them. Like Kitty Pryde doesn't sound like Kitty Pryde. She's grown up. This sounds like a teenage Kitty Pryde, and she's not a teenager. Like this would be Kitty Pryde if she was a modern teenager. I would understand that. They're reinventing. Like if they did a book where Kitty Pryde is a teenager in the year 2019, fine. But Kitty Pryde is not a teenager. She's a grown woman who's been through all that stuff, and she's acting like a teenager here.
Going on a pirate dimension and getting tattoos.
Well, to be fair, and like this is what Hickman is doing a lot with all the character changes and like obviously cutting off like the last few years of Marvel that we've had and just saying most of it is like in the dark ages now. Like a lot of the characters just feel a lot different than they did before. So I just feel that's more just about that. I read the issue as well. It wasn't my worst pick. I actually kind of enjoyed it a little bit. I actually thought it was a little fun for me personally.
You've been enjoying the Dawn of X books. I haven't really as a whole.
Yeah.
There's some books here and there that I say was good, like New Mutants and all. I know you have been enjoying the Dawn of X books. You said
the ones I've read anyway. I haven't read all of them. I think I read X-Force was really interesting and Marauders. I didn't really enjoy Fallen Angels though.
I didn't either because I'm not a Psylocke fan.
I liked it for it's a different approach to a book. Like I think it was a different approach, and it is a character that deserved to be changed because she is a new character in a way, So that's why I was okay with her. But yeah, so far the best one for me is honestly New Mutants because it feels classic characters. They feel like themselves. I didn't feel like anything was changed in New Mutants really, except for the world around them. Like the characters were still themselves. Did you read this?
I wonder.
Cryptid?
New Mutant. Did that come out this week?
Marauders. No, Marauders.
Oh, Marauders. Yep. I did read that. I do have like one negative comment though on that. I enjoyed the issue overall. I mean, I enjoyed Kate being a badass. That's my main enjoyment out of it. And
same.
My main problem was with Patrick. Like he needed to sound more French, in my opinion.
Yeah, he didn't say any French phrases.
French guy you could ever get,
That thing could have been fun if he sounded more French. Though I agree with that. That would have been amazing.
Black Cat number 6, right? I felt like that was a perfect Patrick.
Here's the thing, though. Gambit wasn't French either. Like Gambit normally has that French, that New Orleans French thing going for him, and he didn't have that in Excalibur either. He was like very like standard like plain English, He wasn't any like, mon ami.
Stereotypical French guy.
Oh, yeah, that makes me again look back at. Is there a specific reason why everyone sounds so differently in Hickman's X-Men? I just keep wondering about it. Like, is that ever going to be explained?
They're very generic.
Yeah, I wonder if that ever going to be explained. Like, why does everyone sound so differently now? Like,
it's because Hickman just does what Hickman does. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything. And if he wants to explain it away, he just says, "I changed continuity." My run changed continuity. I don't
there
care.
it is.
You want to know why? Read all those maps that I left to. Those maps and diagrams. Like, I don't know. I just think Marvel's at this phase right now where they're reinventing a lot of characters just so other writers can write them. Like, instead of writing a character and having it like they're just like, okay, we're reinventing this character so you can you can write them. You can't write a character, don't worry, just reinvent them. Like, we got a new watcher.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Patrick, I saw him too.
Patrick Wall says Marauders and Something is Killing the Children. Only things worth reading right now, in my opinion. What's
Something Killing the Children? What is that book?
That's an indie book.
Oh yeah, that's really good. That's a really good book too.
I heard about that one.
And then Patrick says Van Damme would have made a great Gambit. Jean-Claude Van Damme, maybe like 30 years ago. Maybe 30 or 40 years ago. But Something is Killing the Children, Cryptid, is a Boom Studios book. And it's about something in this town, like, is killing kids, like monsters are killing these kids. And this girl comes to the town and she's the hunter, she's the monster hunter. So she's going to kill them. But, like, she gets arrested. She got arrested last issue, and this issue she just got out of jail. So she still hasn't gone and killed them. But, like, that's her thing. Like, she goes around and she kills the monsters that are killing families and kids. It's a really good book.
Sounds good.
And it's by James Tinian IV.
I'll be thinking about children now.
I definitely recommend it to people. I think the first volume comes out in February solicitations. I think they were in the solicitations for February. First collection of it.
Yeah,
all right. Let me read off Kevia's least favorite. Let me see. I'm just gonna go here real fast. Oh wait, there's a hot topic that was left. Let me see if there's something. All right. Yeah, that's Superman versus Dr. Manhattan finally in Doomsday Clock number 12. First look. We'll talk about that next week probably. So let me just go on to the top 5. Debbie's least favorite is Batman number 83, mostly because I am so tired of Batman acting like an idiot. Also, why is Flashpoint Batman even here? Answer, we don't know. Also, question, why is Alfred last message to Batman not making any sense? Like, I don't get this logic. Also, how did Psycho Pirate take control of the Bat family? Did I miss something? Answer, and frankly, I can't take it anymore. All I want is this madness to end. I'll discuss that later because it is in my top 5. So, Terry's number 5 is The Amazing Spider-Man number 34. A great story about Spidey and Spider-Man 2099 teaming up to stop Dr. Doom from taking over the world, and it's really interesting. Also, yay, Spidey 2099. So, Brevin, what was your number 5?
It is Amazing Mary Jane number 2.
I still can't get into her. She's dumb. She like lost some brain cells in this book.
Oh.
She did. I'm sorry. She's okay with working with Mysterio, even though she knows he's Mysterio and everything going on. And she's like, "Yeah, cool, I'll do it if you give me a couple extra bucks on the back end of it." Like, I'm sorry, she's just stupid. She went to California and she lost her brains. Like,
I mean,
well, why did you like a Brevin? So,
he's not doing anything technically wrong completely yet. I'm more concerned about where this ended, which is, kind of what you would expect to happen, which is like, probably my biggest problem with this issue, honestly, is the fact that it ends the same way the first issue ends, with us getting, there's the Sinister Six that are coming, and the end of this issue, it's there's the Sinister Six that are coming. It literally is the same way, but by the third issue, like they're going to actually fight the Sinister Six, or something's going to happen with the Sinister Six. So let me really see how that happens. But I enjoyed this issue a lot. I like the interaction between Mysterio and MJ. He's trying to make this movie happen. And all I can think of in my head throughout this are like all the things that like I'm also a film person as well. Like it's kind of my major, it's kind of my thing that I do. So it's kind of cool seeing a comic kind of reflecting a lot of these things that have been happening in the film industry a lot of times. It's just interesting, to me.
yeah, I'm glad that people are liking it. Like, I'm always happy when someone likes the book, even if I hate it. Like, and I don't hate this book. I just think that she lost the brain. So that's all. Like, it's not like a book that I'm like it shouldn't have been made. I'm just like wondering where they went with her brain cells. That's all. Cryptid, what was your number 5? And before we get there, let me just read this. Patrick Wall does say, if you guys had $75 to spend on a key book, what would it be? And he says, I'm getting trigger happy. I'm getting eBay trigger happy. So it would depend on like what book you're wanting, what key book you can get for the $75. Like, so, like a lot of the key books, like if it's a key book I would need, it would probably be a lot more than $75 because I have a large collection that's over 40 years old. So like most of my key pieces are like, Action Comics #1. I'll never be able to afford that. So like those are like my key things. Like those are my big holy grails. Like I can never get them. So how about
for
you?
Me, I had a response. I responded to that actually, and for me, it's
okay.
anything
I didn't get it up yet.
Related.
It didn't come up. I'm on the StreamYard thing, and it didn't come up yet.
Okay, but yeah, it's anything Deadpool related. I'm looking to collect every single Deadpool comic out there. So, yep.
Yeah, definitely. I can see you looking for like a key Deadpool issue. I can definitely see that.
I must have spent like upwards of probably $800 on my new Well, like $250 for the actual book, then all the other expenses to actually get it signed.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. The signing part. Signing is kind of expensive.
Paying just to go to the con, paying to get the signature.
Yeah.
All that, yeah, it can get expensive.
Graded, all that stuff. I got it signed by Sam Lee, Liefeld, Nasiza.
Oh dang! Wow. That's
well.
I can see why you spent $800.
Yeah, they can get expensive.
Yeah.
That is going on my will. I am never parting with that. That's basically like my Babe Ruth baseball, signature. I'm never parting that. Yep.
Phanatics, but the limit is 75. You guys can't go 800.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I'm not one of those people who go on like eBay and look for comic books and all that because like again, my comic collection is uninterrupted. Like I don't have any like I stopped collecting comic books for a year or 5 years. Like I never missed out on comic books, so my comic book collection is complete. Like I don't. Again, the only things I would look for would be like Action Comics #1. A comic book that I would have to spend like $4 million to get. Like it will cost me an insane amount of money to get it. But I would say go to your favorite character and get or characters and get like your the comic book you're missing the most in your collection for that price range. That's what I would go with. Because if it's a character you love, it's not going to feel like, oh, it would be like, yes, I spent $75 for this, and not like, oh, I spent $75 for that. Like you want something that at the end of the day, where Cryptid's like, I spent up to about $800 on this book, but it's like my gem of my collection. Like I think that's it has to go with your passion. So I would say go with your passion.
Yeah.
All right.
Comics.
Your number 5.
My number 5. My number 5. Arrow number 5.
I wish I could have read that book. I didn't read that book this week. I'm sad. I wasn't able to get it.
I just read the Arrow part. I'm not reading the Wave part in that book, to be honest. But I like the Arrow part because hey, it does feel like an anime. You want me to spoil it for you, Brevin?
It's fine. It's fine.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Crisis gets averted, and she finally gets back to her date with her boyfriend, right? And
wow.
And like after an hour of her going to the bathroom, powdering her nose, and by the end of that part of the story, he just straight up asks, "Are you Arrow?" Like, oh boy.
Yeah. I like this book too. I've been loving them. I forget is it this one or is it I think it's this one. Is I think a monthly now. Like it's not a limited series. It's not a mini series anymore. Because I read in
really?
the solicitations. It's either this one or another one of them. Because I know 2 of the Marvel solicitation books. 2 of the Marvel books, the Marvel Future Fight books, are in the Marvel Comics solicitations for February 2020, and they're like number 8 and 7 or something. So
that's pretty good.
News. Like, I mean, hey, I've been loving the Agents of Atlas lineup, so yeah.
Yeah, let me go check that out because I don't know which 2 it is, but I'm pretty sure it's Arrow and Swordmaster. I know one of them is Swordmaster because I was excited about that because that means more Shang-Chi. So Arrow number 8 comes out in February and Swordmaster number 8. So it did get. I remember it was supposed to be like a 5-part or 6-part miniseries, and both of them were, and they're both on number 8, so they exceeded that, and it doesn't say of anything after it.
Yay! It's lasting.
Yep, and I hope the trade sales do good for this book too, because this is honestly a trade read. You really need to read this in trade, like because of the 2 stories colliding with each other. So
it's a fun book.
It is. All right, number 4.
Well, my number 5.
My
number 5 is Justice League number 36. I like this book. We see, I like the ending honestly with the Hall of Justice becoming like basically a big bat wing. I thought it was cool. Batman's like, well, I got one more trick up my sleeve. When Lex Luthor was like, you got no more tricks up your sleeve. Batman's like, I got one more. And then you see like the Hall of Justice just like floating. Like it's got like a little platform on it, like underneath it. I was like, Batman turned the Hall of Justice into freaking Batwing. Like, and it's got like all these weapons on it. I thought it was like pretty cool to see that. But I also just like the
sounds like something that Batman would do. Definitely.
Batman. Batman. But yeah. All right, let's go on to what Tevius was. Tevius number 5. I already read that. All right, so let's go on to number 4. So Cryptid, we'll start with you. You're number 4.
There you go.
My number 4, Captain Marvel number 12. Okay, guys, I'm a sucker for heroes turning heel, so I did enjoy the fight in this book. Although I do have one criticism. This is my jumping on point of Captain Marvel because I dropped out of it a couple of issues ago, and I felt like you needed a recap as to what was going on here. You know, I didn't get a recap. What?
No, I said you do need a recap. You do.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Because all I'm getting is just, oh yeah, Carol's now evil. So yeah, but how is she evil?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. You know.
They definitely need to do that, especially. Yeah, this is a new arc, and it should be new reader friendly. Every new arc should be new reader friendly, and something like this is drastically different for a character. You should definitely say why that character is that drastically different. You know, because especially someone who sees the movie and they're like, "Oh, Captain Marvel's this way," and then you come in, and you're like, "Why is she a villain?" You know, you had no idea.
Yep. Oh, and apparently this issue is getting second printing. So I mean,
yeah. It's because of that costume has a lot of attention.
It
has
sold
a
out.
lot of attention.
Yeah, it sold out at my comic book shop too. Actually, completely sold out. Day of, by the way.
Because everybody
already sold out.
Last copy in my comic book shop.
Wow.
And plus, everybody thinks that she's really evil. Like they don't realize that it's the reality gem. Which, if you read the last issue, you realize that because they didn't tell you in this issue at all. They're just showing you as her being evil.
That's probably my other problem with this issue too. This also is my moment for pick, actually.
Oh, cool. I told you two are always on instinct. You two I would say maybe 65% of your books are in sync with each other.
It's like, okay, which one of us is Peter Parker and which one is Ben Reilly, basically. Who's clone?
But yeah,
okay. But back to the issue. Great issue. I love the fight between Captain Marvel and Thor. And one thing that really surprised me about that book was Vox at the end. Like, what's he doing here? Vox, in case people need a reminder, he's the character. He's the character that was in Death of Inhumans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who should be dead, I think. Wasn't he dead at the end of that book?
No. And Death of Inhumans, they said that Vox wasn't just one person. He was basically brainwashed in Inhumans.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot. Everybody could be Vox. That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. When Vox could have been a really cool character, but when they announced what he was,
even that was pretty cool. Like, I just don't think they executed it right, but it could be cool that any Inhuman could be Vox, you know? Because that's a scary thing. Like, you don't know who you're fighting. You could be fighting your sister, your wife, your husband,
I actually did kind of like the Vox reveal myself when it was revealed that it could be anybody. I just felt like, well, then if that's it does have a lot of other issues that go along with it when you make that reveal happen, though. Because that was also the moment I realized. So the royal family isn't going to die in this. The royal family isn't going to die. No one that
the royal family are all back now. I think they're all back.
Still dead. Triton's still dead, I think.
He'll be back.
Yeah, that was the moment I realized, okay, well, this is not going to matter because the entire royal family is going to survive anyway. So that's the only ones who really matter as long as they survive.
Yeah.
Honestly, with Vox, I liked my theory better, but when he was first introduced, I would have loved the fact that his power was he would have gotten the power of any Inhuman he killed, I thought that would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But back to Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my biggest problem issue is the fact that it doesn't really explain anything at all. Yep. It literally is just an action issue for the most part.
That was my complaint as well, man.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't in my top 5 either. It was it's actually I think my number 7 or 8. I forget which one it was, but it's either 7 or 8 for me because it was a good story, but you have to like this needed to be new reader friendly, or just let people know what was going on. Again, a lot of people jumped on this book just for this book. Like this is the issue that brought a lot of people back to the title, or just into the title period, and they have no idea what's going on.
Like, is it really the reality? Because for all we know, it could not even be the reality. It could be something totally different. We don't know.
Yeah, well, you don't. But at the end of the last issue,
I know. Having the last issue, I'm saying that. And
you jumped into this. Yeah, like Cryptid. If he didn't watch the show or anything, or I didn't, say that, Cryptid would be like, "Oh, she's just evil. How did she get evil?"
Yeah.
And you won't know it.
This is what a recap page should be like. In most books, like you have that recap page in the beginning,
or even a couple panels where it's like a flashback. A flashback to the couple panels, or even have the character say, this is something I created. Something that would bring it to give you an information on what happened in this that made this happen. I think that I agree with that. I think that, and that's why, again, very it's just not in my top 5. It was a really well written story. I do agree with that, but I just think it wasn't explained properly to the audience. And a book like this that has this change and this mass appeal for a new reader should have some kind of information about what's going on. Again, a recap page, or even like in the beginning, where that little blurb is, instead of saying, something we already know about, say what happened on the book, it's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. My number 4 is Titans number 30, Teen Titans number 36.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. I thought it was a really solid issue. I like that they're, the Titans. We got Lobo controlling his daughter. We got them still looking for Jin, and Lobo's been hired to capture the Teen Titans, and by this big mysterious other. It's called the Other, and we're supposed to find out finally who this other is next month. So next issue, we'll find out who the other is. They're going to reveal the identity of the other that brought this team together. That I don't think they ever properly introduced the other, like mentioned what the other was going on, or how the other became a part of the Teen Titans book. But at least we're going to get the origin next issue, and find out who they are. But looks cool. Looks like very horror-esque. So I like the Teen Titans. I like this one. I thought it was really well done.
Also,
you read this?
I read it. I know it's too much about the other when that reveal happened, but everything else that happened throughout the issue with Crush being controlled by Lobo, that was all that I was really invested in. Was everything going on between Crush and Lobo, and like her being forced to kill all these people, and just like her trying not to, and I kind of find it funny that she that one scene though when she begs Lobo, they're like, I'll do whatever you say, just don't make me do this, and you begging like that doesn't, you're doing you're doing already what he would want you to do anyway. Like he's not. You begging not really gonna.
Yeah, it's like I'll do anything you want. Well, this is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
I would have liked if he would have said that line. Well, this is what I want you to do, so shut up and do it. I think it would have been funny if he would have said, "Shut up and do it. This is what I want you to do." But yeah, what I think is great about this is that it's going to show her a connection with Jin that she hasn't had yet. That they're both being controlled. Like her brother, Jin's brother, controlled her, and people with the ring can control her. Now, Crush is going to have that first-hand experience of what it's like to be a slave, basically, to someone. In no control of your own self, and at the whims of someone else's needs and wants. So I think it would be interesting to see how their relationship ends up being. Did you read this, Cryptid?
I didn't, so glad you guys enjoyed it.
read a comment. Patrick Wall says, you guys think Melanie Walker or Dick Grayson's granddaughter is going to be Batwoman Beyond? Either one of them. Honestly. Brevin doesn't read. I mean, Cryptid doesn't read. Brevin, do you read Batman Beyond or no?
No, I don't read Batman Beyond.
Okay.
I did read Batman Beyond for a while, but that just kind of just fell off too.
Yeah, it's one of those books that you can seriously fall off to.
Mm-hmm. It's not connected to anything else.
Terry says about the other, he kind of looks like a Diablo character. Yeah, does very much so. All right, so let's see. Terry's number 4 was Fantastic Four 2099 number 1. Mostly because that ending with Herbie, I didn't see coming. Like, Jesus Christ, this was super dark. Like, I didn't see it coming. Like, what the hell, Herbie the robot, especially to what he did to this family and turn them into the Fantastic Four 2099. And he's going to do it again. But there's only one. This is only a one shot, so. But he says he's going to do it again, so. All right. Terry's number 3 is Dial H for Hero number 9, mostly because finally we are progressing the main story with Miguel and her and his friend going up against the Thunderbolt Club. Also, yay! We are going to the multiverse. This is going to be tons of fun. All right. My number 3 was Star Trek Discovery Aftermath number 3. I'm sure none of either of you read this book, but it was really good. It was a nice conclusion to this. She what's her name? Terrell was held on the planet. You know, her own people betrayed her. Spock basically knocked out one of the Shadows of Kalis people, took the gun and started shooting the other people in the heads, like dressed up as them, shot them in the head. And she's going back to Kronos to, you know, stop this rise of this Shadows of Kalis, and, you know, try to bring the people back together again. And that's why the Federation and Klingon didn't try to make peace. And also shows that Spock comes back at the end, which leads us up to where the end of season 2 went, with Spock returning to duty. So. And I know neither one of you read this, right?
Nah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it was a good book. It's a good book. All right. So, Brevin, what was your number 3?
We were talking about it. T-Titan 36.
Oh, okay, cool. So there, we're only one apart from that, so we're a little bit close. And Cryptid, what was yours?
My number 3, Captain America number 16. This continues the whole.
I said it's kind of good. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Like it's middle ground for me.
Yeah, it continues like the cop killing story from last issue, where you have Scourge who's killing at all the cops, which I find ironic because this week in Annihilation you have Scourge killing the Annihilation wave. But yeah, we got to see a fight between Captain America. Well, he's technically not Captain America. He's Steve Rogers. You got to see a fight between Steve Rogers and U.S. agent.
He's Captain America. He's Captain America.
A couple issues ago, he gave up.
Yeah, I know. I know, but he's Captain America. I don't care. He's Captain America.
Yeah, even when he's not Captain America, Steve Rogers is always Captain America. Like, I mean, like, he's one of those characters, like, you can't say, okay, he's not Captain. Like, he's not. Like, Tony Stark could be something else, and you'd be like, okay, that's whoever he is, you know. Like, if Tony Stark says, War Machine, I could call Tony Stark War Machine, but if Captain America says, like, I'm Nomad, to me, Captain America is still Captain America, you know? Like, Steve Rogers just always Captain America to me. No matter what name he decides, he's Captain America. He just is that character.
Okay, but what about if he's Hydra?
I settled that because they went with a different Steve Rogers. So for me, he's an alternate universe. He's an alternate universe. So
That was
it's
Captain
all
America.
he was Captain Hydra.
Oh
That's funny.
god.
That's great. Okay.
Okay. But back to the comic. So yeah, U.S. agent. He is pissed at Steve Rogers because this was the first time they met since the whole Secret Empire kind of fiasco. So they fight, and at the end, the Power Elite, they supposedly kill Kingpin. So I'd like to see where that goes. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Let's go on to did I read Tevius number 3? Yeah, I already did. So all right, so number 2. Cryptid, let's start with you. Number 2.
My number 2, no surprise. I'm wearing a shirt of this guy. But,
I thought it was gonna be your number 1.
Deadpool number 1. And honestly, I thought so too. I thought this was gonna be my number 1 up until
honestly, he surprised me so far with all his picks. Well, except for not Captain Marvel, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm just curious what his number 1 gonna be.
Okay. Deadpool number 1. The start of a new run by Kelly Thompson, and I liked it. I liked the story. Deadpool's hired to kill the Monster King, and after doing so, he becomes a Monster King. Elsa Bloodstone tags along. A lot of funny banter between the two. And Gwenpool comes in with Jeff the Shark. And it was very sad. It was a very sad moment because Gwenpool is there to drop off Jeff the Shark. Deadpool asks, "Why are you dropping him off? This is a monster kingdom. Why would you drop off Jeff?" And then Gwenpool says, "It's because all my books keep getting canceled. So if I want Jeff to survive, I want him to be with you because you will always have a book." And I'm like, "Oh man, like Jeff is not guaranteed to live if he's with me." Aww.
That's like saying I can't afford to buy him dog food, so you gotta take my puppy. That's like telling someone, I can't afford dog food all the time, but you got a stable job, so you can take my puppy for me.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And by the end, we find out that there's the villain of this arc is going to be Craven, the Hunter, the new one.
The
one who came after the Hunted.
Well, Craven just died again. The original Craven died again at the end of Spider-Man's book, and then now it's the son. Craven's son is taking over.
Well,
looks just like his father automatically. Like now he looks just like his father. But
they did the Craven what the Simpsons did to Fat Tony. They just killed the OG Fat Tony and just replaced him with something. Made him gain 100 pounds. So he's just basically
exactly
Fat Tony.
That's what they do. All right, Brevin, what was your number 2?
We're going to talk about it already. I kind of went back and forth on my number 1 and number 2, but for me, number 2 was actually ended up being Captain America number 16.
Oh, okay.
What did you like about it?
Yeah, it was. Actually, I read this at like one of my studio theater things at the end of it where we were like have a break, and I thought this issue was pretty amazing, honestly. Mm-hmm. I love this issue. I love the fight between U.S. Agent and Cap. Like the way that was done, the choreography, that was cool. I definitely don't buy that. We'll see where that goes. But I definitely don't buy that Kingpin is dead at the very end. I think he's definitely gonna survive in some way.
We never know because Thunderbolt Ross died in Captain America, and that actually the other series. Yeah, he legitimately did die. So,
but especially after that,
Kingpin's like vital to Daredevil's story right now. Like he's a vital part of that.
I don't think he's actually he's a vital part. He's always been a vital part of the entire Marvel universe. And him being, I think, if anything else, he might go into hiding or like not be the mayor anymore. I can see that happening.
True. And dang it, if it wasn't for my number one pick, Captain America would have been my number two. I'll just say that.
My number two was He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse, number one. I thought this was a real fun read. We got it starts off with like Skeletor is about to take all Castle Grayskull's, like, you know, either come out He-Man or, you know, give me this sword and reveal all this knowledge to me, or I'm gonna start killing off your family and friends, you know. So He-Man, you know, Prince Adam, you know, calls upon the power, becomes He-Man, comes out, and all of a sudden we see this dark version of He-Man coming out. And like he's the anti-He-Man. And we find out that he's from the anti-universe, the antimatter universe, and he's going around killing all the He-Men in all the multiverse to take their swords and get all the power onto himself from the sword of power. And they had to go to another He-Man from another universe, goes and see, well, two He-Man. One's like based off of the, I don't know if you guys remember them because you're probably too young to remember them, but He-Man had these little like pop-up figures, like they were like these little bulky figures, like, and like you could push them down and they would jump up at you and all that like that. Well, one of them is like that guy. He looks just like that action figure. Like he just looks like he's like a little toy figure looking guy. And then there's like, you know, a King He-Man type guy. And they come there and they recruit Skeletor, who's Prince Kandor now. He's not in this universe, in the anti-universe, he's not Skeletor. He's a good guy. He's Prince Kandor. And, you know, all the villains from Masters of the Universe are all good guys. And the Masters of the Universe are all evil. They're all with the anti-He-Man. And they're saying that because he's the anti-He-Man, and He-Man always wins over Skeletor. But they're saying since Skeletor is the anti-Skeletor, while Kandor is the anti-universe, that because everything is opposite, he should win in the fight against anti-He-Man. So they recruited him to help them find him and fight him and destroy him before he destroys the multiverse. So it was good. I liked it. I liked how they did their spin on that. So I liked it.
And
I thought it was
an
really
issue one, right? This was an issue one, right?
Yeah, it was issue one. A lot was given in it, but it was fun. Like it was fun finding it all out. So it was an issue one, but we find out everything in it. It does explain everything to you. What happened?
I should probably pick up He-Man. I should probably read a He-Man comic. Like, I was always a big fan of the He-Man like cartoon and the toy line. Every when I was younger, I've always kind of enjoyed that. So maybe I'll check it out actually at some point.
It's a good read. Yeah, it's a good read.
Check it out because I love heroes turning villains. Come on.
This is it. Like He-Man's the villain in the story, and Skeletor is the hero. So like, if you want a reversal of fortune, this is it. Like you got He-Man he's actually called anti-He-Man. He's the villain of the story. So
that's cool.
Let's see. Tavius number 2 is Flash Forward 3, number 3. Mostly because I'm hoping for Wally West to save his kids from the dark multiverse. But despite that, this story with Wally West teaming up with his Roy Harper fighting vampires is fun. But damn, that ending with Roy Harper dying again, that was sad because, come on, DC, give Wally a break. I would say more give Roy a break. I mean, Roy's the one who died in 2 universes. I mean, Wally didn't suffer anything there. Like, Roy's the one who died. I would say, you know, give Roy a break, not Wally. But his number 1 is Justice League number 36. Finally, the Legion of Doom are getting betrayed by Perpetua, and about damn time, because I've been waiting for something to happen. These jerks, and it was so worth it and really funny. Brainiac turned into a chair genius. Also, yay, the Hall of Justice is going to turn into a fighting robot, which is going to be so epic. Also, yay, Scott Snyder ignored Tim Drake's to Drake and called him Robin. I am so happy to take that business. Nobody likes your name change for Tim Drake. But in all seriousness, the story is really epic, and I can't wait to see what happens next. I don't like the name Drake personally for Robin, but we don't know where this takes place in this story. Because sometimes stories take place before and after events happen. So this could all take place before that. But
I mean, there was that report about James Tynion's Batman run ignoring Nightwing, though, so and just making him Nightwing again. So that could happen.
Well, yeah. Plus, I think that's like again, that's before it. I think that's happened before. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good issue, like I said. And Flash Forward, it was okay, but I mean, again, I would feel more bad for Roy. He's only died twice. But my one thing about the cover is that they showed Arsenal in a different outfit than they did in the comic book, which is weird. Like he's in the comic book in his like 90s Arsenal outfit. I mean, on the cover in his like 90s Arsenal outfit, and then in the comic book he's like in his Young Justice outfit. Almost,
I think Supergirl did that at one point actually too, where they had like the cover was different from what was inside of it. Actually, I think I did like some. I may have done like a video when I was talking about like, look at Superman in this blue like art journal cover, and you turn the page and literally it's a different outfit. Like as soon as you turn the page.
But I can see it like with a variant or something like that. But when you have like this actually said this is one of those covers that had like a word bubbles on it, and it's like, boy, you're here, your Arsenal or something like that. I forget what the cover said on it, but it said it had like the thought bubble, like the word bubble. So it made it feel like a part of the story. And then when you get in it, it's like a different costume. Like, okay, that's not that Roy. Because at first I was like, are they on the Earth where 90s comics are still there? Like that could be the Earth, because he's going through the multiverse. He could be in a 90s comics multiverse, but it's not.
That would explain a lot of stuff, but said they didn't do that. That would explain all of Young Justice.
It would.
It's all in the 90s verse. It's all in the 90s verse.
Young Justice has to be explained somehow, some way. Patrick Wall says, enjoy your night, gentlemen, laters. Thank you for joining us, and hope you check out the channel and the shows more, and also check out the Discord, So, Brevin, what was your number one book?
It was Pretty Violent, issue number 4. I don't know if any of y'all read it, but I love it.
What was it? I didn't hear it.
Sorry. It was Pretty Violent, issue number 4.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I heard number 4 now.
The issue was pretty violent. Okay.
No, it's called Pretty Violent. It was Pretty Violent, issue number 4.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like a really like. As soon as I saw the art style for this series, I kind of immediately was like, I gotta pick this up. I gotta see what this is like, and I've been enjoying it since it started. This issue deals a lot with her like wanting to be friends with this, because she's a super villain, and she's trying to be a hero, but she's not really good at being a hero. So she's trying to be
Gwenpool.
So she's trying to be friends with a hero chick, and she's trying to do all this stuff to like get her to become a friend. So she ends up talking to her dad about it, who's a super villain, and her dad gives her this long list of everything that he can do. But the only catch is she has to do one thing. This mission that she has to do this one mission that he wants him to go on in order for him to get like the list to become friends with this girl. And so like the issue is like in this space with her like doing this mission for her dad, and then like after that going to hang out with his other superhero friends. And like The mission like ends up like all these people like getting killed and everything. Meanwhile, she's trying to be friends with this girl. It's weird and it's kind of enjoyable and it's kind of goofy.
Sounds really cool.
Sounds pretty hilarious.
It's a comedy. Definitely a
Cryptid.
comedy.
Is your number one another pool book?
How did you guess, man?
Okay. I just was thinking about when I said Gwenpool, I was like, wait, Gwenpool came out this week. Cryptid like that. It has to be.
This was the last book I read for the week, and like, you know, Deadpool was already gonna be my number one. Like, I like that book, but then after reading this, I'm like, oh my god, this actually beat Deadpool. Okay. Issue was essentially Gwenpools versus Immortal Hulk. And I do mean pools because Gwenpool breaks out all the stops. She literally grabs. Okay, look, Immortal Hulk literally body slams her off the panels, and in like all the blank space, she goes across all her comic appearances, like, and pulls the Gwens out of all of them. She takes the Gwendows in Champions. She takes the Gwendows in West Coast Avengers. She takes the Gwendows in Superior Spider-Man. And like, yeah, this is our last stand basically against Immortal Hulk. While all of them are fighting the Hulk, she literally goes to a Thor comic, takes the arm that Malekith cut off of him, and grabs it, puts her arm in there, and grabs Mjolnir with it. And my favorite laugh out moment when she threw the hammer for the KO at Hulk at the crotch.
Like, but not just the hammer, she like let the whole arm go. Like the whole arm went flying with it. It was like watching Tranzor Z or something, like where the rocket fist just flies out and like punches someone. Like the whole arm just came flying at it with the Mjolnir, and it just like headed right in their crotch. I cracked up too when I saw that. I thought it was hilarious.
That was hilarious. And one thing though that kind of really worries me. I don't know if this is going to happen because I'm getting the suspicion by the end of this series, Gwenpool is actually going back to back to our world, because, wow, like every issue of Gwenpool, right? All the covers, they actually happen. Hold on a sec, and I get the cover for the next issue, right? This is the cover for the next issue. She's back to the regular.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the station a while back. I remember that.
And I'm thinking, like, I don't see her in any comic solicitations or anything after Gwenpool strikes back. So is this going to be the end of Gwenpool? Like, wow.
And she said in this issue, she says, "This is my last chance to prove it. Otherwise, we're not going to get a comic book again." Like that's why she's doing all the stops. I don't know. I doubt that they'll give up Gwenpool because you know, she's a popular character, especially overseas. Which again is said in this book. But I don't know. I don't think there was. I think it's just like a thing to get people to buy it. Like it has you thinking because of that cover, she's gonna go back to the real world. So maybe more people will buy the book and support it.
It was a combination of that and that scene in Deadpool where she gave Jeff the Shark to Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't know if I'm going to continue being around, and
they might take a break with her.
It's a good commentary on comic ratings, honestly, comic sales.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because
like all the Gwen versions she pulls out, right? They even have like a little description on each one. Each one is different. Mm-hmm. Like the Superior Spider-Man Gwen, that was the calm Gwen. The one
she's
that was
comic knowledge and she works out at the gym. She hits the gym.
The one that was in West Coast Avengers, that was a hot girl. The one in Rocket and Groot, that was the Harley Quinn dead Gwen.
Yeah, they call her Harley Quinn.
Yep. Man.
And I love what they call the Champions one. She calls it like the hot dog the hot dog twerker or something like that.
She dies.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, she got killed.
Wow.
Like,
But I like that she called her the hot dog twerker or something.
that crock
was funny.
shop Mjolnir, she dedicated that to hot dog Gwen. Like, she really did. Like,
That actually sounds like actually kind of smart comedy.
yeah.
Actually, because it also commentates on like the fact that cause I did read the first issue of Gwen Plus Rebel, and from what I heard, she didn't seem like the same Gwen. I didn't read the original series either because it came too late. But from everyone was telling me, she seemed like totally different from what she was in Strikes Back. So that actually kind of is interesting that they basically just said every one of these women that you see are just different versions of Winpool.
Yeah, I like how meta it was. They're like it was
Yeah.
written by a different person, so it's a different character. You know, like they really went meta with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and they even brought the writer for her
The original
Gwen
Gwenpool book.
Yeah, what was his name? Christoph Hastings. He literally just writes one page in that book. He comes in as like he's basically like Mufasa, like
Yeah,
all cloud
he's
and
he's
whatnot.
literally is because he's like the cloud. Like he's a cloud. His face is in the cloud. And
He's
I like what he says about your father. He's like, your father's name is Ted Poole, and your mom's name is Martha, just like Superman and Batman, just like Superman and Batman's mother's name. She's like, really? Like she gets mad about that. I like that. He was like, he just did it for the hell of it.
I need to tell you, but it's been a fun ride with Gwenpool. Honestly, as a Deadpool fan, I wasn't really much of a fan of Gwenpool when she first came out, but I don't know. It was Jeff the Shark that really made me say, I want to look more.
It was Jeff the Shark. It was the
I need Jeff
Shark.
the Shark Archie doll. Speaking of that, this is the best I got. Okay, like this is my version of Jeff the Shark.
They need to. I'm surprised that Marvel doesn't have a Jeff the Shark doll yet. I'm surprised they don't. Like, you would think that they do.
Or at least like a pop figure of all the other pop figures that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? It looked like the picture you sent me on Discord. It looked like SpongeBob shark. Is that what it is?
It's a plush that I got at a toy shop. They even
Okay.
sings. I don't think you can hear it.
I thought it was like a shark version of SpongeBob because that's what it looked like. That's what it looks like.
I mean, one could probably become a shark. You're not yellow.
I don't know why SpongeBob even exists. I'm still trying to figure out why he even exists and why he's on 24 hours a day on Nickelodeon.
The reason he exists is because he was the result of a nuclear test explosion, according to Dark Theory out there. All right.
SM Down joins us. He says, "What's up? What's up, SM Down?"
All right. So yeah, that's my number one. Gwenpool beats Deadpool.
My number one is Batman number 83. And I thought I was going to get this.
There we go.
I really love this issue. I'm a sucker for a father-son story. I am. You give me a good father and son story, and I'm a sucker for it. And this one does that through Alfred. Bruce Wayne wakes up, and he's sitting across from the dining table with a dead Alfred. So, like, he got knocked out last issue, and he's sitting across from the dining table, and sitting next to him, across from him, is Alfred's dead body. Like, because, remember they cracked his neck a couple issues ago?
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's hearing his final thoughts. Oh, Brevin got Buddha. Hopefully he comes back.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's hearing his thoughts or there he goes. Brevin's back.
Sorry about that. I don't know what
That's all right.
Okay, that's all right.
I don't know if he's hearing Alfred's voice, like a recording of Alfred, like Alfred left him a recording, or if it was a letter or what. But he's writing this. He's telling Bruce about how much he loves him, and he's telling him his hope for him and everything. He's like, ever since you were a little boy, you used to come up and play cops and robbers with me, and you would be so happy. I would be dusting, and you would stick your finger in my back and say, "Stick 'em up," you know. He was like, and you had this big smile on your face. He's like, I always wanted that smile to be back on your face. And he said, and I saw it the night on the rooftop, you know, when you were about ready to get married. You had that smile again. And for once I had hope for you, you know. He was like, he was supposed to like get out and tell Bruce that, you know, like everything's clear, you can send your troops in, I'm free. And he did that, but he wasn't free. He told him that he was, but he wasn't. So he knew that he was going to die, and he told Bruce, you know, like, don't feel bad, don't do that. I hope one day you will smile again. You know, like I want you to have that smile on your face again. It was a really beautiful issue where Alfred like just confesses his love for this son that he has. You know, like because he's basically his father. He's like, you know, I raised you, and you know, I love you, and I want you to be happy. Nothing else in the world matters to me except for you having that smile again, you know? And that's something that, you know, a father would say to his son. And I love that he calls him son in here. It was like a beautifully written issue. And it's a love letter for a father to a son, you know? And I love that. And then at the end, the Bat family that Thomas Wayne had beat up a couple issues ago is now standing there with Psycho Pirate, who Tevye says he doesn't understand how that happened. He literally, last issue, said, we gotta go get Psycho Pirate. So they told you in the last issue they were going to go get Psycho Pirate. And Psycho Pirate has him and Catwoman all underneath his control. And then Bruce just is like, for Alfred, one last time, you and me, to his father. And he's just like, you know, come on, let's go at it. And like, they're getting ready to fight. So we only got 2 more issues of this left, I think. Next issue and the issue after that, and then Tom King's run's over. So, I again love this issue because it's such a great father-son emotional issue. Tom King he gets a lot of flack for his poetry, and I understand for Somali poetry, but there are gems like this where it's like so beautiful and written so well that like it's a shame that this was just on page, you know, like that's how beautiful it was. That it was just on page. I would love to see this performed. It was just so beautiful. I loved it.
It sounds like that was probably the best moment of the arc, the whole Alfred scene. You know, it does sound like that.
Honestly, I would say this was the best issue of the City of Bane so far. Because there's still 2 more issues, but City of Bane, I think this is the best issue of it, and again, it hits you in the heart with that Alfred scene. Like, just from the moment he wakes up and sees the guy who raised him across from him dead, you know, and like he carries him over and lays him on the couch, you know, it's like so emotional. He's like trying to break through this brick wall to get out of this room just so he can go get revenge for Alfred. And Alfred tells him, like, don't make this your life. Don't make revenge your life, you know. Be happy again, you know. I'm not doing this so you would have a new mission to be angry and, you know, be vengeance. Be happy in your life. I want you to find happiness. And I love that he says that to him, because it shows, you know, like how much of a father Alfred really is, you know. Alfred just wants him to be happy. He just wants him to be, you know, smiling. He wants him to be a kid. He was like, about on the roof, he was like, I didn't see the little boy that, you know, when you were smiling, I didn't see the little boy that you were. I saw the man that I always hoped that you would be, you know? Like, it was like really, it was really a loving, touching issue. And I think a lot of people miss this issue because they're so turned off by all the other stuff that he writes that they miss gems like this. And I think that's what's hard about this, is that I get that some things are not for everyone, and I understand it, but he's also burying his own golden nuggets like this, you know. It's like so many people turned off from the poetry, they didn't read all through it, so they're not reading this issue, you know. And this is the issue I think a lot of people should read, because it's just a beautiful issue.
This makes me think about. This makes me think of the Tom, back when Tom King wrote that one issue of Flashpoint, when the whole Button ordeal, and when that whole like when we were working with him, was it Joshua Williamson? What's the time? Because doing the button.
Huh? I didn't hear that.
Wasn't it Joshua Williamson at the time? Because doing the button. Yeah. This reminds me of like just back when he had wrote just that scene between Thomas Wayne and Batman and that, how beautiful that was. So yeah, it's kind of good that I guess maybe he can write really emotional moment between his father and son. Then
yeah, I mean, I was like, when I read this, I was like, that's the book to beat for me. Like, because this is like one of the first books I read this week. So I was like, this is the book to beat. I was like, something has to be this book.
You probably had like a super high expectation every other. Like you're just like, no, not good enough, not good.
Well, it's like I didn't expect it to be this good. Like honestly, I didn't expect it to be as good as I thought it might be. If it was in my top 5, I was thinking it would be like number 5 or 4. You know, because Batman has been in that spot with me. Like lately, I don't think I've had him in my number 1 in a long time. Wait, actually, I did. Let me see. I think I just saw Batman. Yeah, Batman 82 was actually number 1 too. So all right, the last issue was number 1 too. But
it's really good art.
That was a slower week though too.
Okay.
That was a slower week because that was the week that the Addams Family the Bodies issue came out. So you were on that show. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked this issue. Like this is the strongest issue I think of this arc. And again, that father son thing. I've been saying it. I'm a sucker for a father son issue. Like if you give me a good father son story, like I'll eat it up. And this was that. It was just beautifully written, and it was so. Again, the only bad thing about it was that it was just on page and it wasn't performed. Like I could see this being performed somewhere, like in an animated movie or a live action thing. Like it would have been like so more emotional. But yeah, so great.
Cool.
All right. What?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I thought you said something. All right, that's the top 5. So, what is everybody's cover of the week?
Well,
What's the cover first?
I'll start off first. Mine was actually 2. One was the Deadpool variant cover this between Elsa and Deadpool. Oh, look, they're in dresses and suits, you know. And the other one,
2 Deadpool covers.
Baby Shark. Come on, Marvel, give me a Jeff the Shark plushie, man. That's all I'm asking.
I'm surprised they don't have one already. It's like he's like been a fan favorite ever since he premiered. Like ever since he debuted in West Coast Avengers, he's been like a fan favorite.
Yep.
Someone actually on the Discord's name is Shark, Jeff the Shark. Like one of the people on the Discord, his name is Jeff the Shark. I remember seeing that name on the Discord, so that's fun. How about you, Brevin?
It's all the Captain. It's the Captain Marvel covers.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be that.
That was an awesome cover.
Yeah, it stands out.
Mine was the He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse.
Where's that? Yep, that cover right there.
Yeah.
Mine was the He-Man one. It's just like a nice painted cover. Like I love them. All right. So what do you guys got coming? What do you guys are most anticipating next week?
For me, my most anticipated is Venom number 20, Jane Foster, Valkyrie Jane Foster number 5, and I guess I don't have a third one. Huh. Yeah, just 2 for me this week. So.
Give me one second. I just had it up, but a lot of it's kind of the same as Cryptid only. Like I think Ironheart also comes out this week though. I think that's also on there.
That's my number 3, I guess.
So yeah, it's pretty much the same as Cryptids. It just add an Ironheart.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deviate from both of these because I'm going with Philadelphia #1. It's an image book about a guy who goes home back to Philadelphia after his father was murdered. So I'm from Philadelphia. I like when Philadelphia is represented. And Philadelphia is the name that we used to have. It was a nickname for Philadelphia because we had a high murder rate in Philadelphia for a while. So they called it Philadelphia. So I'm interested to see how they portray that in the comic. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #45. And Star Trek Picard Countdown #1. So this is the first time we're getting a look into the Star Trek Picard series. So I'm looking forward to it. What do you guys got coming up for next week? Anything people you want people to follow you on or like check out or anything?
Okay. I'll start off. I don't have anything really much coming up in this coming week because it's Thanksgiving. So, but if you guys want to look me up, if you're a Cap fan, go look me up on the Captain America MeWe page or the Captain America Living Legend Discord page.
Both of those links are in the description below.
Cool.
And Brevin, how about you?
I don't have like a Captain Marvel review to get up, and that's pretty much all my reviews. Check out all of them that you can. This is the only one I have left. The next week is gonna be Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be trying to crunching to get comics pretty much since it is Thanksgiving coming up. So that's gonna be fun. Trying to get that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have that's coming up.
All right. And Brevin's link to his YouTube and his Twitter are in the description below as well. For me, I guess check out my Harley Quinn review. Check out that. I'm gonna try to get a Harley review up for Friday for episode 1 where I go into episode 1. Probably try to do something for Titans for the season finale on Friday. And I will have a review for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #45 because I didn't have a review up last issue for 25 of Go-Go Power Rangers, and someone asked me if I would do it, so I did it late, but I'm going to get 45 up on Wednesday, so I'm going to try to get that up Wednesday. Yeah, but, other than that, check out the Discord. Everything, try to go on the Discord. Because if anything does happen with Kappa and comments are frozen or locked, whatever, lost, you can always go on the Discord and engage there. Because my whole point of this channel and the Discord is to create a community. That's what I want to create, and I hope you guys check it out. And I just want to say for Thanksgiving, I'm very thankful for you two to be on here, and for you and everyone else that has supported me after everything that's happened this last year. So thank you guys for continuing to watch the videos, continuing to join in, to go to the Discord and chatting and everything like that. All that support really meant a whole lot to me. So I want to give you a really heartfelt thanks to everybody, including Cryptid and Brevin for that. So
thanks. How do we top that? How do we top that?
Alfred got me sentimental. Blame Tom King. All right. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
See you later.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Sharks rock.
Go ahead. Leave it up until the end.